Hit that like button as you come in. It's your boy, Dolly.
Wrapped around your heart, a weapon drenched in blood. It's falling over you. There's nothing you can do. You know there's nothing angels everywhere.
Let's get those likes up, turtles.
'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear, inescapable. Soon you'll be back for more. Old enough to lose, still you got to choose. Young enough to live for something you can't win. You know there's dropping angels everywhere. 'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear, inescapable. Soon you'll be back for
What is good? Good morning, turtles. Good to see everybody. Damn, there's a bunch of you already. Well, if you're just getting here, make sure you hit the like button, all right? There's a couple hundred of you here this morning.
paradise again. But the righteous are the ones who's giving in.
What's up, Erica?
Oh, there's dropping angels everywhere. 'Cause the righteous are the ones who disappear,
Inescapable.
soon you'll be back for
Boom! What is up, guys? It is your boy Dolly back up in the house, and I know what you're thinking. Dolly, what happened to you last night? Okay, well, let me tell you. I was out with an old buddy of mine named Don Wells, and we were out panty snatching, okay? It's an old thing. We used to do it back in the day. You know, we used to commit a couple B&Es, just go in. He likes red. You know, I'm more of a purple kind of a person. I kind of like purple. He's more of the red guy. And, you know, the thing is this. Don has 7 pairs of red panties, and Candus don't have none. Bam! That's a scary thought in itself. It may be too early in the morning for that. Damn, Candus Wells freeballing. I didn't mean to give you nightmares, start your day off with that thought in your head, okay? But Dolly had to do it. Dolly had to do it to you, okay? Anyway, guys, I canceled Turtle Island last night because I had to make some plans. But since we canceled Turtle Island, we got a very special Turtle Island coming up for you Sunday, okay? Live from Las Vegas. All right, so we're doing Turtle Island live from Las Vegas Sunday. So make sure y'all tune into that. It's going to get a little crazy. A little crazy, okay? So anyway, Don Wells has 7 pairs of panties. Candus has none. Basically, that's a little play on the alibi, okay? On the alibi thing. Don has 7 alibis and Candus has zero alibis, okay? Now, here's the thing. What is his 7 alibis? I haven't heard 7 alibis. I've heard him blaming 7 people, okay? But I haven't heard him say what them alibis are, okay? Some people say he was at work. Some people say he won't at work. Hunter, that went off with Candus, you know, that young man that was touching that mullet with the spirit fingers, he says Don was on the hill that day. Now, did they just leave the boys alone? All right, that's the big question. Were the boys just there alone, like Candus said? That she went to Grandis, Summer, went to the damn horse pond, went swimming, came back. Don was gone all this time, okay? So where were the boys? And how did the boys get back if the boys were with Don? Okay? A lot of people seem to believe that Don took those boys with him that day, and Don may have something to do with the disappearance of Little Summer Wells. What's up, PJ? Good to see you this morning. And Penny and Sassy, Short Legs. Damn, everybody up this morning. So, you know, with the recent developments of Don Wells' criminal record coming out, we know now that he is the Ben Hill Road creeper. Okay? There was a creeper in them hills, and we didn't have a clue who that could be, right? Now we know. Maybe one of Don Wells' alibis is he knows where to sell babies, okay? Maybe he was off somewhere that day where they sell kids, so he couldn't have been responsible for what happened to Summer Wells. Maybe that's one of his alibis, okay? Maybe another alibi was he was out smoking crack and banging a prostitute. Okay, that would be alibi number 2. Now, I tell you what, I'm not going to give you all his alibis. What I'm going to do is I'm going to open up the phone lines, and I'm going to let you guys call in today, and I want you to tell me what Don Wells' alibi is. Okay, I done gave you 2. One of them was he's off smoking crack and banging prostitutes. Okay. Alibi number 2, he was out breaking in the home, stealing panties. That could possibly be an alibi. We got to look at, you know, I don't know. He hasn't really told us his alibis, and I'm pretty curious at this point of what his alibi is. Now, we know Candus don't have none. So we can't ask Candus, hey, Candus, what's your alibi? Because we already know, according to Don Wells, she has none. Okay? Don Wells is the puppet master in this. Okay? I don't know how this is played out this way, but I don't know as far as the death or the disappearance of Little Summer Wells, but in the information that we're being fed on the internet, it's definitely coming from Don Wells. Now, they're spreading rumors now that Don Wells is working out of the state of Arkansas. Right, here's the thing I shake my head about. If Don Wells went to Arkansas to work, okay, to stay in a hotel, to go to work so he could spend all his money on that crack hotel he's in, all this stuff is to Don and Candus Wells is a big joke, okay? They have no concerns about finding their kid. They're not really trying to look for their kid. They're not doing anything to help find the kids. They're not really cooperating with the police. Okay, they ain't really cooperating with the PO. They ain't really cooperating with any fucking body. Right? But the thing is this. At this point, if they have no evidence against these people, I know everybody's saying Don is the prime suspect. I'm not going to label Don Wells the prime suspect. I am going to say Don Wells is a suspect. And are the police investigating Don Wells? Yes, you can believe the police are investigating Don Wells. If your kid goes missing, the police would be investigating you. Okay? That's just the way it is. They always check the families first, just to clear those people. So, yeah, Don is a person of interest to the police, of course, just like Candus, just like Grandis, just like Hunter. That's why they took his phone. To me, all these people are still suspects because there's no answers for Little Summer, right? If there's no answers, then you're still suspects. The police hasn't came out and said, Don and Candus are cleared, okay? We look at the Fruitland, Idaho, Michael Monkey Vaughn. The police came out, cleared his family, okay? His mom, his dad, said they ain't have nothing to do with it. We need to get answers for this kid. But we ain't seen nothing like that in Tennessee because the simple fact is this. I believe the police think they have something to do with it. They just don't have the evidence to prove it, okay? Now, you got a creeper, and look, to me, I believe this dude is a sexual predator, okay? He has those tendencies. He has tendencies like Brian Kohberger, breaking in houses, stealing things, moving things around, lying. Just weirdo things that normal men don't do, okay? Guys don't do things like that. Not no guys that I know, anyway. And if I wonder if he stalked Candus Bly like this. Did he stalk Candus down at the carnival? Was he trying to steal Candus's crusty drawers? Okay. That's a weird thing right there. I just the thought of Don Wells in the basket with the panties is just, and just think this. Look, if you're a criminal, and Don, you a dumbass criminal, okay? You're a criminal. You got busted breaking in a house stealing some panties, right? But then when they asked you, what was you going to do with the panties? You couldn't have lied. Okay, you lied about everything else leading up to that. You couldn't have just lied. You really told the police that you were going to take them home and use them to... You guys, you know what he was going to do with them. I don't want to get all graphic, right? But he actually told the police that. Why couldn't you just told the police, man, that you was a cross-dresser or something? I don't know. That you was going to give them to your girlfriend. She ran out. You couldn't afford none, so you went and stole something. I mean, something other than what you told the police, okay? There's just no getting around that. It 100% makes you look like a monster. Like a bad type of monster. Like, I'm surprised this dude ain't in jail for murdering somebody. Well, we never know. He might be one day, right? It's kind of early to speak on that one. Especially with that, like, breaking in and stalking around the houses at midnight. We heard Jody Sue Brown say the same kind of similar shit to that, right? And that's before we knew Don was the panty snatcher, okay? Think about that. Jody Sue Brown was saying this shit a year and a half ago, okay? A year and a half ago, Jody Sue Brown was like, that dude was peeping in my windows trying to look at my daughter. A year and a half ago. Nobody believed that shit. Everybody just, Jody Sue Brown full of shit. She be making stuff up, talking all slow and shit, right? They just thought she was crazy. Nah, maybe there's some truth in her lies. You know what I'm saying? Every now and then, people tell the truth, even liars, you know? Or people that exaggerate. I ain't going to say that she's a liar. She likes to add to the story, exaggerate the story. I think is Jody. I don't think she's a bad person or anything. And you know, and some of these things I said that she was lying about, I look back at it now and go, well, she wasn't lying about that. Don Wells was doing that stuff. Okay? Why would she have said that then? And now we know he's a creeper. Okay? We know he peeps around people's houses. We know he's a peeping Tom. We know he breaks in. We know he'll steal your panties. Okay? I should have checked Don's pockets. I should have been like, Don, empty your pockets. He'd have pulled out some panties. I'd have been like, oh my Jesus. Just had no clue. Had no clue. Make Candus give Dolly's shirt back. Okay, make Candus give Dolly the shirt back. I'm sure by now they burnt that shirt. I'm pretty sure of it. I don't know. I don't think she might still have it. I ain't seen her wearing it, but I ain't seen her. I haven't talked to her. I haven't talked to Don since he came up here pissing. I just thought that was nasty. So I just really, at that point, I was just like, look, I don't want to deal with these people drinking. And every time you go to try to help them or do anything, they make a big fucking scene out of it or make a big deal out of it. But yet they came up on the internet wanting the internet's help and things of that nature. And that's just bullshit. They just want a few bucks from the internet. They want to spend misinformation, and lead people down so many different trails that they'll never be able to figure out what happened to that little girl. And from the very beginning, you hear Don talking about Summer in the past tense. Not so much Candus, right? And, this may lead credibility to some of these people that are saying the things they're saying now that maybe Candus didn't even know. Don didn't want to get caught. CPS was involved. They were going to talk to Summer. They were going to see Summer. And before they could, boom, Summer's gone. Seems a little strange. The timing of it seems a little strange. Like, so the kidnapper just happened to know that CPS was going to be checking out Summer. You know what I'm saying? So they've been hiding this kid from the CPS, ducking and diving. This goes into Dudley, seeing Don Wells all scared and panicky in the shower with his hands on his head and things of that nature. Was Don, and that's the day before. So was that Don thinking, man, see, a lot of people think it's because Don did something bad to Summer and she was already gone. But I don't think that's what it was. I think he thought he was going to jail or possibly going to prison, and he was freaking out and he was trying to figure out a solution, and his solution was possibly, allegedly, maybe get rid of the kid. Okay? I think Don served enough time in jail and prisons that he don't want to be there. The Ben Hill Road Creeper. He is definitely the Ben Hill Road Creeper. I mean, that's his new title. I mean, it's just simply what it is. I just didn't know. And it's crazy. Because that means I could probably get close to a serial killer and my serial killer radar wouldn't go off. And then Dolly could get stabbed up. You know what I'm saying? I just don't know. So let me open up the phone lines. I want to hear from you guys this morning. The call-in number is on the screen. Give me Don Wells' best alibi. Okay? What is I gave y'all a few of them. He was out smoking dope, banging prostitutes. You know what I'm saying? He was out committing B&Es, stealing panties. What is the other 6? What's the other 5? I can't even count. 5 alibis, people. What are the other 5 alibis? Bless it, mama. He earned it. He sold her, in my opinion. I don't know if he sold her. And hit that thumbs up, please. Thank you. I want a heart to touch. He should name all his alibis. I mean, I don't think he has any legitimate alibis. Okay? Everybody can have an alibi. That don't mean it's true. Right? In the whole story, the time frame, everything that we got to go by has came from Don Wells. He was screaming from the moment he knew that little girl was missing that she was kidnapped. How did he know? Right? You didn't think maybe she's in the woods. Maybe she fell in a well. Nothing. The first thing that comes to your mind, this little girl has been kidnapped and I'll see you in the resurrection. Okay? That's your first thought. Hell nah. He has 7. Okay, he has 7 crack whores. Ooh. I mean, maybe, I don't know how many of those he has, but he may have mullets, across the country. I mean, Don Wells might get the ladies. He might be a ladies' man. Who would have thought? who would have thought that Don Wells was a ladies' man? Okay? I don't think he's a ladies' man. I think he's a creepy man, all right? With creepy serial killer tendencies. Now that I think about it, when he was standing behind me with the knife, it's a little bit more scarier now. I'm a little bit more scared now than I was then. I'm like, man, this weird ass panty snatching dude was standing behind me with a knife. I'm lucky to be alive. The things I do for YouTube, the sacrifices I make, okay? I risk my life for you people, all right? I don't see none of y'all out there risking y'all's life for me. But Dolly's out there, I could have died, all right? Y'all wouldn't even have came to my funeral. Y'all would have just been like, oh, well, damn. Hate channels would have been laughing. You know, that's what he gets. He should have stayed off the damn hill. He knew they were killers. That's what I'll get, you know what I'm saying? He might steal your underwear, Dolly. That's a scary thought. Why I'm wearing them, okay? He been locked up for a while, okay? So he might try to steal my underwear while I'm wearing them. Be like, what you doing, man? Oh, nothing. I'll be like, man, you better stay away from me, Don Wells. These are blue, okay? Ain't got no red ones on. These are blue boxers, okay? Don't be trying to steal them with me wearing them, all right? Trying to play touchy-feely on my underwears. I don't think he liked dude underwears, okay? I don't. He likes mullets, okay? He likes women with crazy hair, okay? He has a thing for women with crazy hair. I don't think he has this big underwear fetish that people been saying. I don't think that's what it is. I think he has a mullet. The passion for the mullet, okay? Don Wells. I just think, man, you're a creeper. Tell us where the baby's at. Tell us where the baby's at. It's that easy, right? But here's the thing. I think with Don Wells, I'm telling y'all this now so y'all can say Dolly's psychic once again. When he's done with this probation, they're going to bounce out. They're going to disappear. Right now, they're just in a crack house, right? And listen, they're living this big dream in their head. They're looking at this house. It's like a $260,000 house. Have they lost their fucking minds? Okay? You're living in a crack hotel, and you're literally looking to buy a $260,000 home. That ain't happening. What do they think that land is worth that they live in on Tennessee? Have they lost their fucking mind? Okay? Your old man will, this is say you came up with the money for a down payment to the house. You sold Ben Hill Road for whatever Tim Mullins is going to give you for it. All right? Because that's what's going to happen. Say he gives you 50, 40. I don't see it being worth no more than that with that shack on it. Honestly, God, I don't. You go put it down on a house, you're not even going to pay your fucking mortgage. I mean, you can barely float the crack hotel. How are you going to float the mortgage on a $260,000 home? These people have lost their mind. Okay? They have lost this house they're looking at in Arkansas. They done lost their mind. But I mean, I guess, in this world, if you're going to dream big. Okay, dream big as shit. I mean, I only want a mansion. Okay, I want a damn huge mansion that there's elevators, and when the door opens, a Lambo comes out. Okay, ooh, says Dolly on the tags. I mean, that's what I'm working for. All right, buy a bar of soap. At this pace, you better buy 10 million bars of soap. But hey, if you're gonna dream big. Okay, but these people, you need to dream about getting your fucking kid back, or them finding your kid. Would be the best dream, I would think. That's what I think. Are the phone lines not working? Y'all been quiet this morning. Not one phone call? That seems strange. Somebody test the phone lines for me. Let's see if they're working. Y'all could be just quiet this morning. They can't sell that land in Tennessee. It's in a trust fund, I think. Set up for the boys to get. I don't think so. I don't know about that one, PJ. Don Wells could sell his underwear collection. Okay, that'd be a good start. You know, Don Wells, you should do the right thing. Tomorrow when you get up, you should go out. You should return all the underwear that you stole from people and apologize. Damn, the phones are working. Okay. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly, it's working.
Hey, it's working. Y'all are just quiet. Everybody's just quiet this morning. Wake up!
I figured I'd be the first one out the gate then.
Okay.
This is Brenda. This is Brenda from Virginia.
Brenda from Virginia. Okay, you got to give us an alibi for Don Wells. Okay, give us one of his 7 alibis.
He was on live with you pissing.
He was on live pissing with Dolly. He couldn't have done it.
Exactly.
All right, that man's definitely innocent, Dan. He's definitely innocent. Look, lock your panties up. Lock your panties up. Lock your panties up.
Oh.
Don Wells ain't far from the Virginia border.
I don't have no red ones.
Okay.
I got black. I don't have green.
You're safe, Dan. You're safe, okay?
I'm safe.
You're good to go.
Okay.
All right, you have a blessed day.
You too. Bye.
All right, peace. So there you have it. Don Wells couldn't have done it. He was on, she said my live stream, but I mean, he could have been on any live stream, right? Pissing, all right? Pissing, he couldn't have done it. Dolly. Not Dolly. Somebody else, okay? But, yeah, he says these things like I got these alibis. I don't even think he can really prove that he was at work. Who was at his job that can verify that Don Wells was at work that day? Nobody. He was working by himself. So he could say anything he wanted. There ain't no cameras at his work. There ain't no cameras at his house. He's in the middle of damn nowhere. There ain't a whole lot of traffic cameras, a whole lot of anything. Right? How do we know he was even there? There's nobody to verify his statement that he was ever at work. There's conflicting statements between Hunter and Candus. Okay? Hunter, Don was there. Candus, Don won't there. According to Jose, Candus and Hunter were a little friendly. Dolly!
Hi, Dolly.
Hey. What's up, short legs?
Legs, yes.
Yeah, I know your voice.
He was eating Dolly soap.
He was eating Dolly soap. Why was he eating the soap? For that
Because
foul-ass mouth he got?
Because it smells so good.
Oh, okay. Thank you for the plug there. A Dolly soap plug.
Yes, that's what it is.
Yeah, he couldn't have did it, short legs. He couldn't have did it. What do you think about this whole thing of him coming out with him still in the panties and things like that? Does that surprise you?
Not really.
Yeah.
Because some men do really weird things with panties, so.
I mean, I guess so, but I guess the breaking
But if
somebody.
he stole them, that's a little bizarre. You know, that's off.
Yeah.
The lady probably gave them to him.
I don't know about that one. I don't see too many ladies like, here you go, just take my dirty panties.
No, that's so weird.
Wash those while you at it and bring them back.
What?
Nothing. I'm just kidding. Okay, short legs, you be good.
Okay, you be good, Dolly.
I'm going to be good as I can
Okay.
be. All right. Peace.
Okay, bye-bye. Peace.
Okay, like I told you guys, we are shooting Turtle Island Sunday live from Las Vegas. Okay? Dolly.
Hi, Dolly. It's Luna Moon from
What's up?
Ohio.
What's up, Luna Moon?
Oh, not much. But just sitting here listening, playing with some scratch-offs and
Uh-oh.
listening to you.
You're trying your
Huh?
luck. You're trying your luck, huh?
Oh, absolutely. I don't normally play them, but, you know, I just decided to spend a couple dollars on it and see if I can hit anything. I'm getting ready to go to my pharmacy.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
You
Okay.
know what I mean?
Look, while you're here, can you give us one of Don Wells' alibis?
Yes. he was busy at the work site with his ladies' underwear.
He was busy at the work site with his ladies' underwear, so he couldn't have been there to do it. He's innocent.
No, he was too busy doing the ladies' underwear thing.
Doing the ladies' underwear thing. That is just so weird to me. I don't know why I find it so weird. Short legs seem to think it was like a normal thing. To me, that's weird. I don't know. Or maybe I'm a different.
Oh God, it's just creepy.
It's a weird one. Like, I don't know. Each their own, though. Each their own. Whatever floats your boat, kind of thing. But not when it's predatory or behavior, though. You know what I'm saying?
It's not. When I found that out, oh my gosh, I still don't want to change my story, but or my thoughts of what happened this summer. You know, being grabbed by the church and gave it to a family to love her for the rest. You know, for the rest. Of
I
life.
mean, that would be a happily ever after ending at this point.
I know it. I want to keep that in my heart so bad, but then these reports of him getting arrested, red-handed, caught in somebody's dirty laundry.
His dirty lines are getting put out there for real, right? It's really getting put out there.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know. We know what he keeps in his front pockets now.
You.
Oh, Lord. All right, well, you be good.
I will. I got lots of errands to run today. It's good to talk to you, buddy.
All right, peace.
Peace.
Okay, yeah. So we'll be shooting Turtle Island Sunday from Vegas. I will be in Vegas tomorrow night for the UFC weigh-ins. Okay, so I'll be leaving, and that's why I didn't come on yesterday. I was setting up my plans, getting my hotel, getting my plane ticket, getting all that stuff taken care of. By this time tomorrow, I'll be almost to Vegas. Okay, so we're gonna be bringing you some stuff live from Vegas with Dolly. All right, this week we'll be in Vegas, hanging out, doing my tour. Okay, at the smoke shop. That's what I do when I'm in Vegas. I just rotate those, and I'm gonna try my hand. I'm gonna play a couple games of blackjack, see if I can win some money. All right, because Dolly poor, he need to win some money. So I'm going to try a couple games of blackjack. Nothing crazy. You know, maybe $50. See if I can win some money. I'm pretty unlucky. I don't never gamble. But you never know. It might be my lucky day. Okay? One more serious note. Did the FBI, LE, FBI, or TBI check those alibis? I mean, I'm sure. How do you check? Okay, if you work by yourself in a house on a construction site, Dolly's worked construction for years. Okay, I worked painting houses. I owned a paint company, and then I worked wiring houses for an electrical company. So there'd be days I'd be at jobs. It'd just be me. I'd be putting in lights, can lights, smoke alarms, things like that. There'd be nobody in the house. You know, I could say, yeah, I'm at work. I could be anywhere on the fucking planet. There's nobody to say, yeah, he was there or he won't there. You know, the guy I work for would go, well, yeah, he's supposed to be over there putting in lights, but they wouldn't know if I was there or not. Dolly.
Hey,
Hey.
is this Dolly?
Yeah, this is Dolly. Can you hear me?
Okay, we were talking about me and my husband. We think that Don was too busy coming up with the alibi for his daughter's disappearance.
So he couldn't have did it because he was busy coming up with the alibi.
Yes.
Okay, that's a good damn alibi. I couldn't have did it because I was coming up with a reason why I couldn't have did it.
Exactly.
Okay, here's my question to you. What do you think about Don Wells stealing those panties? What do you...
I don't know if he was stealing them or if he was paying them for them.
He
could have been buying them.
He could have been
He
buying
could have
them?
been buying them.
But the
He
lady...
could have been buying them.
But the lady didn't know Don Wells was in his house.
Well, I've heard of ladies selling them, you know.
Yeah, I've heard of them selling them, but I don't think hers were for sale. I don't think the police...
Yeah.
The police
hers went for...
The police would have arrested his ass.
Well, hang on.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Jenny, go ahead.
So, we lost them. Yeah, I don't think, there are women out there. There's people that got, what is that site where, OnlyFans or shit like that. And there's women that sell the stuff like that. But that don't mean you go break in somebody's house that don't know, and it's a complete stranger. I've been like kind of surprised at how many women think this is acceptable behavior. It surprises me, right? Like, that shit is weird to me, but it don't seem so weird to you ladies. Like, y'all must know dudes that are into a lot of panty stuff. I don't. You know what I'm saying? I just, it's weird to me. It might be something that's really common in this world, and I'm the weird one. You know what I'm saying? But I don't see it that way. I look at it like, yo, this man is doing stuff that serial killers do. He's breaking into homes of people while they're asleep, going through their stuff. What if somebody catches you? And then they attack you. Next thing you know, he's strangling this woman or something. It's like a weird situation. Like, you shouldn't be in somebody's home. That is like, I would kill you. I would literally, if I woke up and somebody was in there sniffing my boxers, I'm going to be explaining it to the jury and to the judge. You're going to be like, hey, I don't know who the hell this dude was in my house, or woman in my house. It's weird. It's absolutely weird. It's absolutely weird, and I don't know. I was kind of surprised. People are like, oh, he just got this, like, it's, I get it. If guys collect underwear, or if you collect G.I. Joe men, or if you collect baseballs, whatever you collect, that's fine. But how you go about collecting it that's just like saying, yeah, I collect women's tank tops, right? But I bust a woman over the head with a club and take it from her. That's not acceptable, okay? Now, if you went out and seen a tank top and you bought it, and you was like, and put it in your collection, okay, that's cool, Buffalo Bill, okay? But you just can't go B&E your underwear, okay? Baby, I'm gonna get you something nice. Let me go over to the neighbor's house. No. And just like, and if he's stealing from that lady, and he's fantasizing about that lady, right? Because basically that's what he's saying, okay? I'm sure he ain't gonna take those panties home and think about the baseball game, okay? I hope the Braves are winning. I don't think that's what he's thinking about, okay? He's thinking some creepy shit in his head. You know what I'm saying? Can only imagine what that dude thinks. You don't want to see what he watches on Pornhub. I can tell you that. I would not want to see his damn... Well, he may do videos for clicks. He may hang out in some bushes. All his clothes may say press. But Don Wells did go to jail for stealing some red panties. Okay? Red panty night. JR didn't make that up. Okay? He is a little creepy himself, right? Now, if you opened your bedroom door in the middle of the night, you looked out and you creeped in the hallway and there was Don Wells and JLR together, oh shit, I'm jumping out the window. I'm not even opening it. I'm running through the glass and everything, just right out of that bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm done at that point. I'm running. I ain't even trying to call the police. I'm just trying to get away. Right? It would get that real. That's like Freddy and Jason showing up at the same fucking time, right? Oh, hell no. Jump out the window. Michael Myers is standing there. You know what I'm saying? Nah. Not today, Satan. All right? Imagine putting them in a room together. They would creep each other out. Just staring at each other. Okay? I'd pass out if I seen them daytime or nighttime. I'd be like DM. Remember when she froze? When she seen Brian Kohberger? If I opened my bedroom door and there was JLR and Don Wells standing out there, I'd be like, I wouldn't call the police for like 8 hours. I'd be like, yo, dude, I woke up last night and I swear to you, I mean, I did eat some shrooms back at Lollapalooza, but that was fucking 20 years ago. Don Wells and JR was standing in my house holding a pair of my boxers, okay? Send paramedics. Okay, send the paramedics. I'm about to have a heart attack. It'd be like that, okay? Now I know how people freeze. Look, I didn't notice when I watched JR's video, he got bushy ass eyebrows. Hey, bro. You were in Idaho. There's unidentified DNA up in that house. Dolly!
Hey, Dolly, it's Tina from Georgia.
Hey, what's going on?
Not much. How are you?
Do you have an alibi of Don Wells's?
He don't have no alibi.
He don't have no alibi. He said he had
claims
7.
he does. He claims he does.
Oh, yeah.
But I saw a police report on that, and I read it, and I guess the woman had some problems. She had taken some drugs, pills that she was, very sleepy and, all this other stuff. But, I believe, if the cops didn't catch him, there could have been something else that went down that night with him and that woman. He knew her son, and he was standing out there. He told the cops that he was waiting for the kid to come home,
Johnny,
or the guy to come home.
Yeah.
And the alibi that he had given was his boss was at the job site for 30 minutes. He sat there and talked to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then his other alibi was Jeremy. The guy's name is Jeremy. And he was there for a while, okay? But that only, come on, that's what, an hour alibi maybe? So other than that, you don't have no alibi.
Yeah.
And, you were talking about, the sick stuff that, the underwear and, but there's women out there that will sell their used underwear to predators that have a fetish, okay? It's really, really disgusting. There was one years ago, I still remember it because it was on YouTube, where she was selling her stinky things from her butt to people. She glassed them up.
Yeah. Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I heard something about that. Like there was a girl farting in jars and selling the jars and things like that.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. That seems insane. But that's one thing, but breaking in people's houses while they're asleep and like stalking and creeping, that's a little bit different than buying a fart in a jar.
Oh, yes. Absolutely.
Both of them creepy as hell, but one is a little less creepier than the other.
Well, I believe that Don was the one that was by Jody Sue's house.
I do too.
I truly believe that he was creeping around, and I think she has a daughter also.
I know she does. She does have a daughter, and that's what I'm saying. That's who she thought Don was creeping on, was her daughter, not her.
Yes, and the other thing that I can't still get out of my head is the bag that was packed for Summer, her suitcase, that night. That Jody Sue, I guess it was Jody Sue's daughter was going to spend the night. Am I right, or is it another person?
I'm not positive of that. I thought it was that what's that girl's name? Not Maria.
It could have been not Jody Sue's daughter.
I thought it was the other girl. I'll take her name in a minute. The one that Don Wells always accuses, her daughter.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to tell you, and I know that you're not on that topic, but maybe look into it. The Rudy case, the Rudy boy that was missing for 8 years.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. And he just all of a sudden popped up.
Dolly, last night, some man came out, and I believe it's a family member, if I'm not mistaken. They had him come to the police station. The stuff that's coming out about this mother, she had that boy the whole time. And she was telling him that he had to sleep with her, that he was going to be the daddy, and all this stuff.
Say what now?
I'm not kidding.
The boy that was missing for 8 years, he was being held by his mama.
Yes, and there was bad things. Please look into it.
Oh, I'll have to
It
check
is
that
the
out.
most disturbing thing that I watched last night. I was just shocked. I can't even. He had a credit card of his mother's. He was going to his mother's work. I guess she was a security officer or something, like a security at nighttime or something. He's been there, and she made him tell people a different name, not his real name. And there was sexual stuff and stuff.
So why
on.
did they make him go missing 8 years ago, though? What was the point of him going missing? Just so she could say he was somebody else?
Yeah, I guess. And pretend
so
that
she was having relations with him and saying he was somebody else, but in actuality it was her.
Yes.
I got you. Wow.
Yes. And that is the most disgusting thing I've ever heard.
Wow.
And the guy that he wouldn't talk to nobody, but they had this man, and from what I was watching last night, it's a big, heavy-set black man, and he came out, and he said that he wouldn't open up to anybody. If his mother comes in there, he won't say a word. He will not say one word. If they remove her, he talked to this one person, and I believe it's a family member, and he was standing outside the police station. There was tons of news people out there.
Oh,
and
Lord.
they were waiting.
They about to lock her ass up then, huh?
I hope so. Or, is it going to come out, Dolly, that, he has mental issues? Because that's what we had heard.
Because I heard that they found him 8 years later. He was wandering around. He was
beat up.
Not uncoherent, or he wasn't didn't seem like he was all there.
Yes, but the man said last night on the news thing that there is so many cuts to this boy's bodies, like whips, or whatever, that it's bad. It is really bad. So when you get time, check into it, and let's just keep praying for summer.
Oh,
That's all we can do.
Something we thought was a good thing turns out that it's another case of some monstrous crap. That's crazy.
Yep.
All right.
Absolutely. So, all right. You be good, Dolly. Have fun in Las Vegas.
All right. Peace. Bye. That's crazy because, we heard that it's a good outcome. Hey, he's going to be united with his family. He's a little confused right now, but, I'm sure, maybe aliens got him, just joking. But to hear that they had him the whole time and he's been beat and he's being abused by his own family, and wow, we do live in a crazy world. It's crazy, and you got to be careful out here. And I was talking about it the other day. Most of the time when you get killed, it's by your loved ones or people that hurt you. It's people close to you. Strangers don't tend to usually kill you. Occasionally you get your Brian Kohbergers and things like that, or your mass shooters and things. But usually strangers don't tend to kill you. It's usually always somebody close to you, your loved ones, ex-boyfriend, husband, wife. No, Dolly, the boy was trying to get away from his evil mom. That's sad. Okay, the house had cast iron gates, and it was on the windows and around the porch. That kid's been mommy's pretend husband for the past 8 years. Holy shit. That is... Wow. Well, then, hopefully this woman gets what she got. Have they arrested her yet? Now, they got to find this story credible, too. If he's, when they said they found him, he was a little confused. They got to make sure he's in his right state of mind of what he's saying, too. She was giving him drugs. He was so heavily drugged up that now he suffers from severe mental issues. See, that's where it gets tricky. Crazy people will say some crazy stuff, right? I have some family members that have some severe mental illness, and sometimes they will say some crazy stuff. And it don't always make it true. You see what I'm saying? Like like I have family members that are like, they're trying to kill me, and nobody's really trying to kill you. You know what I'm saying? So they'll make things up in their mind, and if you got to make sure that's not the case. If something really bad has happened to him, then yeah, I hope his mama gets what she deserves if that stuff is true. But we get, first make sure this young man is of solid mind to know what's going on, so he can make sure what he's sharing is legit. You know what I'm saying? How could he have possibly made that up when nobody knew where he was for 8 years? That literally makes 0 sense. But he ended up going home with her. So he left the hospital with his mom? That he ran? Oh, I'm lost. Somebody, okay. So he was kidnapped by his own mama for 8 years. They find him. And then he leaves with his mama. That don't sound like he's kidnapped. I mean, I'm confused on that one. His mom made him feel he was in legal trouble for 8 years when he ran away for 2 days. Since then, he's been enslaved. Oh, Lord. So he runs away. He comes back to mom's like, yo, the police are looking for you. You better not go outside for 8 years? I mean, is that against the law? I mean, I don't know. Can you enslave your kid? Like, what if you would have said, hey, you ran away. You're on restriction for 8 years. Go to your room. Is that child abuse? I mean, I think that might be child abuse. 8 years? I mean, but who's to say? Look, the judge, when you go in front of a judge in court, when he goes 8 years, it ain't a big deal, right? He can be like, you're going to prison 8 years, 20 years. So what if your kid ran away and you go, hey, go to your room for 8 years? GoFundMe money scam also they had? Oh, so she was saying her kid was missing, blah, 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 while she's scamming money? I don't know to be the case, but that wouldn't be good. She's been on the news for years hoping the well return of him. I hope he's safe. What if that's the case in the Summer Wells case? They got her hid somewhere. I've heard people say that. I ain't never believed it, but I've heard people say it. She was scamming people with setting up GoFunds. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord, Suzanne. She would make him sleep naked in the bed. That does sound like the Summer Wells case. We heard the same thing about Don Wells, sleeping in the bed naked. There was this, I don't know. Where did this happen? This was Texas, right? That happened in Texas? She's a huge scammer. Falsifying a missing person. Falsifying a GoFundMe. Yes, she was stealing the GoFundMe money, y'all say. Put the lady in prison. You know, like, look, hey. That's horrible, you know, because think about the resources they use to look and search for people, and it's just a big lie, you know. And just think about, look, you know, we all know Don and Candus done lied to the police, right? Think about all the money Tennessee, Hawkinsville have spent searching for Summer Wells. And they know good and well where Summer Wells is at. How much money they wasted of the taxpayers' money of Tennessee to search for a kid that they know where the kid is at. Okay? I truly believe that Don and Candus know where that kid is at. What happened? That's a mystery to me still. It could be a million different things. But just in my heart of hearts, I know these two people know. And if I'm 100% wrong in the end of this, I'll be the first person to apologize. I'll be like, Dolly's dumbass. Sorry, Candus and Don. But I just know I'm not going to owe them that apology. Right? Like, I knew I didn't have to ever apologize to Leilani. I was like, yeah, she's guilty as shit. You know? There's some things you know in this world. And I just know that they know something. They're not being truthful. Candus ain't being truthful. Don ain't being truthful. Hunter ain't being truthful. Allie's not being truthful. Why are all these people lying? Why you got the BKs, Cams, these other people out here running interference for the wells? I don't get it. I absolutely don't get it. What is the end goal? You know, because, you know, once you get, I'm one of them people that believe if you follow the money, you'll figure out what's going on. Okay? Everything in this world just seems to be controlled and organized by money. If you figure out the money, why the money's in play and where the money's coming from, you can usually figure things out. Why are strangers putting up money and things of that nature? Well, not strangers to me. Well, strangers to me, but not strangers to them. Like, you literally got people paying YouTubers to run interference. Why would you spend your money like that? If you, let me ask you this. You a God-fearing, church-going man. And when I say BK, I don't mean Brian Kohberger. I mean the BK in the Summer Wells situation, you know, now that's non-existent on the internet. But why would you pay that man? Why would you pay him? And not only that, but he signed a non-disclosure agreement. He spoke openly about that. So did Cam. Okay, Cam spoke openly about it. He said he broke it instantly. But here's the fact. Why? What was discussed that said, hey, you need to sign this? And why would you have signed it? And why is that dude there? And when a kid goes missing, who needs a PR manager? Instantly. People don't do nothing in this world for nothing. Every action you got, there's a reason for it. If you ate a sandwich right now, you did it because you're hungry. You know, there's everything has a reason for it. There's a reason they signed these agreements. There's a reason this person is paying them money. There's a reason that this person is supporting the wells. There's reasons for it. What is it? Is it just he wants a piece of the pie? He wants the property? Does he want rights to, maybe he thought this might turn into a movie? It might turn into a book deal or something. And it has that possibilities. But I don't think it has the right people doing business. You need a salesperson to sell that story to people. You know what I'm saying? That's the most important thing in this world. It's the person that tells the story. I don't think he's the dude to get that done. You know what I'm saying? But in his mind, maybe he don't know that. And he thinks he can. I mean, there's a difference between selling something to Lifetime, selling something to Netflix, and then selling something to fucking Universal Studios. You know, there's, but I don't know if he thinks it's this big money grab, so he's investing in it now. It seems like a stupid investment to me. You know, unless he knows something that we don't know. I just don't see the involvement. I don't see why the church hasn't distanced themselves from them either. Right? Because you know the man is on drugs. You know he's drinking. He's constantly bringing it in the church. Right? I would, as a church, I'd distance myself from that dude. And the people of the church. Why the people of the church? You see what I'm saying? I don't get it. I just don't get it. Thank you, Gene. Let's see what you guys are talking about. All right, here we go. Question. I want to hear Don's alibis. Dolly.
Hey, Jimmy, it's Nancy.
Hey, Nancy.
How are you?
I'm doing pretty good.
Okay, good. I have two things.
Okay.
When Don said that he was on the phone with Candus the whole time he was driving.
Uh-huh.
Why, number one, why did he say that? And is it possible that he didn't have any interference? You know what because I know it's illegal to lie to an FBI agent, but if you lie to the police, is that illegal? Because then if it wasn't true, they could have got him for that, right?
Well, Don been lying his whole life. He'll look a cop in the face and lie to him.
Yeah, but is it illegal to lie to a cop? See?
Yeah. I guess some things. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, about your name and things like that. Yeah, it's illegal to lie to a police.
Right. I see that. But I'm saying if he lied that you remember he said he was on the phone with Candus the whole time he was driving.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know why he would say that, because I think that's one of his alibis, that he was on the phone. He couldn't have done anything. So if it was a lie, the cops could have got him for that. So it must have been true, right?
No, I don't know. I think he was on the phone with Candus, though. We do know that because Jody Sue Brown said when she pulled down the hill and she talked to her at, 6:36 or something, 6:34, that Don Wells was on speakerphone.
Oh.
So
and he wouldn't have dropped. Is that odd that he didn't get what am I trying to say?
He didn't drop service.
He didn't
drop service that whole time.
Yeah, you think that's weird?
Yeah, I don't know what service they got around there. Her service was horrible.
Because remember, Candus said she went and got Grandis's phone to call. So he said he's on the phone with Candus. I just think the whole thing is, we know they're lying. I just don't know why the cops.
My belief now is Don Wells was there that day. He didn't go to work that day. I think the whole work thing's a lie. I think he came back, whatever happened in the car, they found either he's done something bad.
Yeah.
Or they, I still think they disposed of this little girl somewhere. And I don't think he was at work that day. Hunter said he wasn't at work that day, that he was at the hill with the boys.
Okay, wait, here's another thing. Candus told Chris that she put Summer's bathing suit on before they left the house. But yet she's in the car in the parking lot at the hospital waiting for Grandis to come out. And after her appointment, she said Hunter called her. So when were they going to go swimming that she put the bathing suit on before they left the house? See, that's whatever. It's another. I don't know what.
Okay, and then she changed her into her school clothes. But and then what at point did she change her outfit? Because apparently she changed her outfit because when Summer went missing, she went missing in purple pants and a pink shirt.
No, gray pants, which is what the outfit was.
Gray pants and a pink shirt, but she wasn't wearing that jacket that she was wearing in the car because that jacket's in the memory box.
Yeah, Jimmy, but when they got home, it's 80-something degrees. Candus, why is Summer in pants when you got home? She never told Chris or anyone. Oh, yeah, as soon as we got home, Summer put her shorts on, or Summer changed her clothes. It was always about the groceries going into the house, and then she did say she did laundry because the cops told her she had to fill in the timeline. Or so I don't know. I think whoever told them to just screw the details up as much as you can to drive people crazy, because I think that's what's happening. You can't, you know what I'm saying? It's so frustrating. You can't figure anything out.
Yeah.
Okay, Jimmy, here's my second point. Please, I found something. I almost fell off the chair when I saw it, and I thought Jimmy's going to love that. I sent you a message in Messenger Will you answer me so I can send it to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's it.
All right.
Okay, be safe in Vegas. It's going to be hot. Bring your what do you call that, bathing suit?
Yeah, I got shorts and t-shirts. I'm good.
Okay.
I'm sure the hotel have AC.
Okay, good.
All right, peace.
Be careful. Okay, bye-bye.
Yeah, I mean, Don, look, this whole story has been orchestrated by the puppet master, Don Wells. Okay, that's what I believe anyway. He is the one pulling the strings. He's the one telling YouTube stories to have every channel running with. Some people out here believe Don, and then they start telling the story, and enough people hear it, and enough people start telling it, then people believe it's real. That's how the waters became so muddy in this case to begin with, is because of Don Wells blaming everybody, Jody Sue Brown, Fred Hill, the dude he worked with, the lady that's, just everybody he can think of to take the blame off of him and Candus. But my honest thought is, the one pointing the fingers, that's usually who did it. And he's the one pointing the most fingers. Oh, they did it. They did it. They did it. And you instantly said your kid was dead. You think Candus is the puppet master? I don't think so. I do not think so whatsoever. And, I don't think Rose Bly has anything to do with the same thing as Summer Wells. I think whatever happened with Rose Bly was because of her boyfriend or her husband or the stuff with her kids. And I think this is something totally different. Good morning to you, Connie. All right, let's do this. Dolly.
Hi, me again.
Hey, what's up, short legs?
I just wanted to say that it hit me as a red flag when they found that jacket in the memory box. It just really hurt my heart. I felt like that's what she was in when she went missing.
Yeah, but she wasn't. Yeah, that confused me for a little bit too. I was like, man, I thought she went missing in that. Now this is in the memory box. The bathing suit's in the memory box.
Yeah, see, that strikes me as odd, because why would she have changed her and then she went missing right afterwards, and she was sound asleep?
Yeah, she went.
You would think that she would have just walked in the house and, went to sleep.
Yeah, that's what I would have think she would have done too if she was asleep in the
tired
car.
Out. Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I just know that whatever's going on is on that hill, and they're trying to act like it's not from that hill. But I think whatever problem went down there that day is something with doing with that hill. Like Don did it, Candus did it, Green, one of them did it. It was
odd that the grandmother, her daughter went missing when she was supposedly visiting her. So I always thought that was a little strange too.
Yeah. Well, I thought Rose went missing. She was on the way to a bar to meet a friend, and she never made it. I may be wrong though.
She was going to see her mother, but she did stop at a bar close to her mother's because the car was found there.
Yeah. Well, I never solved that one. And at this rate, it looks like they ain't never going to solve the damn Summer Wells one.
Yep, they may have committed the perfect murder.
Or crime, and not necessarily murder, but
that's something that's always talked about when you study like criminal justice.
The perfect murder.
That there's no such thing.
Yeah, well,
there's no such thing as the perfect murder. And then sometimes that triggers something in people. We have to be careful with that.
Indie Girl says the boys are the key to everything. Yeah, I would think so too. They might not even have seen it. But Short Legs, I appreciate you calling in.
Oh, if anything, I would think the boys know something. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you can't really ask the boys. They're minors.
The judge can ask them. I'm sure he has.
I mean,
nothing probably came out of it.
I don't know if he can just straight up like. I mean,
especially if one of the boys hurt their little sister.
Yeah,
you know?
I'm sure the boys are going to psychiatrists.
They're not going to talk until they're older.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Okay.
All right,
that's all.
All right, bye, Short Legs.
Okay, bye-bye.
So, yeah, I think the boys, if we could ask the boys what happened, I would think whatever the boys said lines up what Don and Candus are saying. Now, I don't know if they coached the boys and said, look, this is what we're going to say happened, or this is what you say. Because if the boys would have said something different than what Don and Candus are saying, I think they would be in jail, okay? But since their stories are matching with the boys, because, they were there with the boys didn't get immediately taken. So they had the opportunity to coach their kids. Say this is what happened. You know what I'm saying? Look, and even if you're from a dysfunctional family, them boys probably love their mom and daddy, and they ain't going to tell on them. You know what I'm saying? If your mom and daddy says, say this, and don't say nothing else, no matter what, you're most likely going to say what they told you to say. You kids don't usually want to go against their mom and daddy. So if they're like, you didn't see your sister, they're going to be like, I didn't see my sister. So, and you can believe these kids are confused. They don't know what's going on, and their life has been flipped upside down too. So, yeah, it's hard to betray your parents, okay? Even when you know they're wrong, and even when you know they're lying, it's still hard to go against people you love, especially kids, because they're looking up to their mom and dad, and they don't want to get them in no trouble or nothing like that. I don't know. And that's the hard thing to say, and we may not know for the next, 6-7 years till one of these boys are old enough to just speak out. And they will. And the bad thing about this, and I realize this, is these boys are going to grow up and they're going to see these videos. And I honestly think their parents should have made better decisions. So, young men, if y'all watching this one day, your parents should have made better decisions. And probably the best thing that happened is your sister, I believe, saved your lives. Okay? Because if it wasn't for Summer, you three may not be here with us. Okay? I mean, I know that's hard to say, but it was enough to get eyes on it and get you guys up out of there. Okay? And one day when you're grown, you'll understand that, that everything that happened was for the benefit to help you guys. They didn't just rip you from your family. They try to get you somewhere safe because your family wasn't the safest place to be. That sucks. That's a hard thing to deal with as a kid. That, because you don't get to pick your family when you're born. All right? Everybody got crazy family members, things like you don't get to pick your family. You're born into what you're born into. You're given the hands that you're dealt. And then it's all about how you play those cards. That's it. Think about some people, their parents a serial killer. Or their, their loved one's a mass murderer. They find out one day. So, man, that's heartbreaking. I would have never left her alone in the truck with H. I don't trust him. Gunnersville Wood says, now the whole thing about H is I don't really trust him either. Okay? There's something snaky about that boy. I don't know what it is, but there is. Okay? It could be just he's a little wannabe thug, but there's something about him. you know, and he's scared about something. Because when Dolly rolled up that day, I seen fear. Like he was scared. Now, not scared of me physically, but was just scared, you know? There's a difference between, you know, he's a big boy. He wasn't physically scared of me. But you could see the fear in him. Like he didn't know what was going on, and he looked scared. I mean, just straight scared. Like he froze up, like, boop. But I think he knows something. He knows more than he's saying. And he knows something bad has happened. His mother is covering for her son. I don't blame her. Okay, you shouldn't let your son around them crazy ass people, and you wouldn't have to be covering for him right now, Allie. Right? That's what I think. But I don't think Allie and Candus are enemies. I think they're frenemies. Okay? They looking out for each other because if the ship sinks, they don't want their kid to go down with the ship. Because somehow or another in that, Hunter knows. How he got put into the loop is probably what's going to end up one day sinking the ship. I think that the closest way to sink the ship is Hunter. And they protect Hunter so good. Like, they do. They try to hide him. He can't, you know, he didn't say a word to me. He knows to shut up. He ain't getting out talking about it. There's reasons for that. Okay, why did he create a YouTube channel? Like his daddy. Okay? Why ain't he out here getting super chats, giving little pieces of stories? Think about it. Everybody else became a YouTube creator off of it. Everybody in Tennessee in that holler is a YouTube creator now. Okay? Allegedly. But think about that. He didn't run out, start jumping on panels. Because he knows. And he's a young man. You start digging into him, he don't know how to reflect it. He don't know how to defend it. And I think the best way is to crack him. He's the easy. You ain't going to crack a 20-year fucking carny and a con artist that's been to prison 10 times. You ain't cracking them people, right? Hunter, he's young enough. He thinks he's hard, but he can break. And I know he can break. You know, and that is the strongest angle, is to break the kid. All right, you're not going to break the unbreakable mullet, okay? That mullet has been spraying Pam on plates and bending basketball hoops and all kinds of shit, right? That's a carny. They know every hustle, every scam in the book. Time you get a teddy bear, you done spent $700, okay? Here's your teddy bear. Thank you for the $700. It costs us like 50 cents to get the motherfucker, right? They know every hustle in the game. You ain't breaking them. Liquor don't make them talk. They can drink the damn truth serum until they fall down and they don't talk. But I guarantee you this. You got damn a few drinks in Hunter's ass, he tell it all. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference. You can't go after the unbreakable. You got to go to the weakest link in their chain. Okay? You don't hit the strong point of the chain. Pruitt. All right? If you listening, I hope he's listening. Don't go for the strong part of the chain. Go for the weakest link in it. Right? And then once you break that link apart, all the other links will crumble. But somehow or another, Candus told her little boyfriend, Hunter. Tell you what you want. They were a little couple. Why ain't she being charged? Okay? Why is that? We can sit here and call Don all these names, but hey, Candus, you fall right under the same umbrella. Right? And not only that, hold on. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
Wendy Webb.
Hey, what's going on?
How you doing?
I'm doing good. Just been real busy.
Yeah. Do me a favor and don't hate me, anybody, but I still believe that they're innocent.
They're innocent?
Yeah,
I don't hate you. I mean, everybody has their difference in opinions. Like, cause I say it, you ain't forced to believe what I say.
I kind of grew up in a similar situation. I mean, my dad used to beat the living beat out of us, you know. And I mean, it wasn't like hands. It was fists. It was belts. I mean, he even brought home a bullwhip. He was an alcoholic. You know, my mom was sick mentally, and you know.
Yeah.
They got better though. I mean, people can change. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I just lost them about 4 years ago.
Yeah, but they had 7 kids. They lost them all. They never changed.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if CPS was a thing back in the day, they would have lost us too. You know, and I mean, it was a rough childhood. Just let's just say that. But as we grew older, I've seen change in my dad. You know, my mom got better. You know, and they became to be my best friends. I mean, people can change. I mean, that holler is just filled with shitty people. You know, I mean, it's like these people haven't grown at all. They got the mentality of, you know, teenagers, I want to say. But, I mean, some of them are good people, yes. But, like, I don't know.
I think when people move out in the middle of nowhere, it's because they want privacy.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's fine. But, you know, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, their social lives are really not there then. And that just, with these arrests coming, I mean, the Fred Hill, his girlfriend, I'm telling you right now, within the next 4 or 5 weeks, we're going to have some answers. And I don't think it's going to be, you know, anything to do with Dom or Candus.
I don't know about that one.
They might be drunks and drug addicts, and you know, that's fine. The world's filled with lots of them.
Yeah, I mean, there's families raised like that every day.
Those tears look real to me, though, with Candus, and it's scary.
That lady's a carny. I don't believe none of it.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but it's just, you know, it's my opinion, and it's not a favorable one in your chat, but it's just.
Yeah, I mean, everybody, you know, I don't force people to agree with what I agree with. I just come up here and I share what I think is happening. And that's why I open the phone line so we can hear what, you know, everybody thinks. Some people think they're innocent. Some people think, you know, it's an accident. Some people think the kid was kidnapped. I mean, there's just so many different opinions on it. I'm hoping too, though, there is some answers. Whatever the answers are. It don't have to be Don and Candus. Like if they come out tomorrow and say, Joe Smith, that's just a name I made up, is responsible for this, I'd be like, hell yeah, Joe Smith's in jail. You know, and then I'd apologize for Don and Candus for saying, hey, I would love nothing more than to give them that apology if that was the case. You know what I'm saying?
I got 2 things to say with her being in a truck. One, she's not dead in that picture. I mean, I literally seen 2 people die in front of me, you know, and their skin changes color quick. 2, I remember a couple of years ago, I was at my brother's house, and my little nephew.
Well, I think their skin changes colors quick if they stop breathing. If you don't stop breathing, your skin don't change colors.
It does.
Once you lose oxygen, you'll start to change colors.
Yeah, if your blood pressure is like 40/20, your skin is changing colors already. I see that with my own 2 eyes. It's kind of fucked up. But I'm sorry.
Okay.
But you know, I remember like my little nephew. It was hot outside. We were having a graduation party. He was only the same age as Summer, and he was in the water the whole day. But then he got out, and he was cold. I had to wrap him up in a blanket real tight. He was literally shivering. So I mean, it brought me back to, you know, my memories. He was the same thing that, you know, we're that little, and that water, maybe that sun is hot, but that water's not. I mean, you get cold when you want to put on some, you know, more layers of clothing to get out of the wet stuff. But I mean, I can't say anything about that truck ride because I know that.
Well, I'm one of those people like that too. When I get wet, no matter what the temperature is, I'm cold. When I first wake up in the morning, I'm cold.
Yeah.
No matter, it could be 150 degrees. I'm cold. Like, as soon as I get wet and I step out, I'm cold. So I'm one of those people. Right. I'll get out the shower. It could be 100-degree day, and I'll put on a hoodie.
Yeah.
Like, I'm wearing a hoodie right now. You know what I'm saying? I took a shower this morning. I got out. I put on a hoodie. It just warm. It keeps my body temperature warm.
Right, especially a little kid. You know, we can't really bitch about her wanting to. Maybe she wanted to put it on. You know what I'm saying? To keep warm. It's just. I don't know. It's just too easy for it to be the parent, or to me. You know, and like I said, with these arrests and everything, we're gonna have answers.
Yeah, but everything. You said it's too easy, but everything in this world ain't always complicated. Everything's not a big conspiracy all the time. It's not, sometimes it's the simplest things. It's what makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, it could be.
Sometimes.
It very well be, but, I'm one for innocent till proven guilty, you know, in the fact that, like, nothing really adds up. I mean, I've seen people. I mean, look at Leilani. We know she did it. Some crocodile tears. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, technically, if we want to get technical, we don't know she did it. We won't dare.
Well, I understand, but the crocodile tears.
Yeah, I mean, everybody knows she did it. But I mean, just to give her the benefit of the doubt, is like, we wasn't there. We don't know if that baby fell down the stairs and then she panicked and threw it away. We're all saying she killed her, but we don't really know. I don't really know. Yeah. I assumed that she's a monster and she did what people say she was doing previous, and she beat this baby to death. But only she knows that,
I mean, but we have an autopsy there. We have, video camera there. They found the body.
Yeah.
We don't have that here, But, like, when I see Candus cry, them are real tears.
Yeah, but is she crying because she did something horrible, or is she crying because she misses her daughter?
I think it's because she misses her daughter.
I hope that's what the tears are. Honestly, I'd rather see her crying because he misses her daughter than seeing her cry because she's uncovered up the death of her daughter.
And I just have this deep down gut feeling that they just didn't have anything to do with it. But, I mean, them acting like they are on YouTube, well, not Candus, but, Dawn. Yeah, that's a little bit much for me. But I can't see it. I can't feel it,
Yeah. Okay, well, look, hey, I appreciate you calling.
All right, do me a favor, check your messenger.
Okay, I will, when I get a few minutes.
All right. All right, take care.
All right, peace.
Bye.
There you go. Don and Wells and Candus, completely innocent, right? But look, everybody has a right to their opinion, and, when I tell you guys something, that's just what I'm thinking. Like, I don't want, like, an echo chamber because I think they did this, that everybody thinks they did this. So a lot of people believe it was an accident. A lot of people believe she was kidnapped. A lot of people believe she was murdered. I just pray that we find out who's right. Okay? That's it. One of us is right. All of us ain't wrong. Okay? Somebody in here is right. We know that. Right? We done went over all the options. One of us has nailed it. Okay? We will know soon enough who is right and who is wrong. I'm praying to little baby Jesus. That's it. Like I don't care who goes to jail behind it, or if nobody ever goes to jail behind it. What I do care about is they find this little girl and this ends. That's it. Whoever's responsible, you're going to pay anyway. It don't matter about this court system or this world or this life. You're going to pay. Your soul is going to pay for what you've done to this little girl. All right? So, it don't upset me either way, because I know there will be justice for all these kids. Okay? For every last single one of them, there will be justice. It's who's handing out that justice, right? Right. I'd rather see a court handle the first bit of justice, and then God finish him off. Okay? That's what I'd like to see. But if they skip this court system, they're not going to be able to skip the man upstairs, and they will pay for their crimes. Dolly.
Hey, Dolly.
Hey.
How you doing this morning?
I am doing good, Granny Bassmaster. How about yourself?
I'm hanging in.
Cool.
I believe she probably died at the swimming hole. I really do. I think Hunter and Candus was getting it on. Somewhere where she couldn't see him.
Uh-huh.
And I really believe she died in that water.
It's possible.
That's why Hunter doesn't want to talk to nobody.
You may be right, Granny. They definitely...
And his mama knows it.
I think his mama knows they were having inappropriate relationships. His dad knows it.
You know what? If somebody come to pick my child up and they were that old, no, but I really believe she died in there. And Hunter knows it.
Yeah, I mean, me and Candus ain't much difference in age. So, I mean, that's like me showing up to pick up your 15-year-old granddaughter, Granny. You know what I'm saying? It's weird in itself.
Yeah, I met you at the door with a shotgun.
That's what I'm saying, but women seem to be able to get away with this, picking up young boys, and it ain't a big deal. But if you got to hold these women that are doing this stuff just as accountable as these men.
I know, but I believe that Hunter's mother knows.
I do too.
I believe she knows. I believe Hunter broke down and told her what happened because he was afraid.
I was too scared to confront her about it because she's the size of 2 grizzly bears. She is a big woman. That is a big ass woman.
But I bet if you confronted her, you would get
eat me.
No, well you could outrun her.
What if I fall?
Dolly, you know you could outrun her.
You ever notice though? Look, I could probably outrun her, but when you get scared, you always trip over your feet, like in the horror movies. And next thing you know, you just hear a grizzly bear gnawing the back of your neck off. And that's, you know what I'm saying?
You ain't right, but I'm telling you, I believe all of this lies in Hunter's lap. And Candus ain't crying for Summer. She's crying for herself. I really believe that.
Guilt. Them are guilt tears.
Them are guilt tears, but Hunter knows. He knows.
I mean, and Don Wells is such a con man. He had Dr. Phil believing him. He had the behavior experts believing him. I bet you they didn't know he was a panty snatcher.
I bet they didn't either.
You know what I'm saying? I bet that I didn't know. That's. I know.
That just graces me. My mother, God rest her soul, one of our uncles didn't ever want to take a bath. God, he stunk. And he was coming for Thanksgiving. And when he came in, all of us was, God, he stinks. And Mama took his clothes from him, put him in the washer, and made him go take a shower. He never had a shower unless he came to our house.
Oh, Lord.
Because Mama told him, said, I'm not sitting at the table and you smelling like that. You stink. And she would wash his clothes and make him bathe, and then we would eat. But I remember one time she told us, said, have all of y'all got your underwear out of the bathroom where y'all taking your baths?
Was he like creepy like that?
Yeah, she said, because I don't want to go in there and see him, have him up smelling them and in his mouth. And I just said, oh my God.
Oh, Lord. I mean, a lot of people act like that's a common thing. It seems a little strange to me, but.
It is strange.
Yeah.
But they're just, and to beat it all, Tim was, he was about as big as that woman you're talking about. He was huge. But,
wow.
I'm telling you, you need to talk behind Hunter and talk to him.
Yeah, the Hunter's, I don't know about the Hunter situation. He's still, I think, he's still a minor technically. I think he's about to have a kid too.
Well, once that kid's born, he's not a kid anymore.
Yeah, and the thing about that is the whole thing is, once you become a parent, you should see how important that life is that you're covering information up for. Summer's life is just important as his kid's life.
Yeah.
He needs to understand that. Maybe as he grows up a little bit, he'll realize, hey, I should probably do the right thing and tell what I know.
Yeah, I hope so. He's just not mature enough right now. But he's going to have to grow up real quick right now because he's got a baby coming.
Yeah, and if you wouldn't want to live with something like that especially if you didn't do it or if it wasn't your fault and you're just covering it, you don't want to take that scarf, carry that weight for the rest of your life, holding that in.
Well, I don't understand why Hunter's mom didn't tell him.
Because she don't want Hunter to get in no trouble. Because it might be something like that Candus was being neglectful because she was with Hunter and now Summer's dead. And she's protecting her son like any mother would, big grizzly bear mother. And I get it.
I don't think he would get in trouble. He's minor. Candus would get another charge on her.
Yeah.
For bedding a minor. But I really don't think Hunter would get into trouble.
Well, he was already in trouble for trying to carjack a lady with a baby in the car.
So, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he's not the nicest kid. He's the guy that he gets himself in a world of trouble now. He acts out. He's a little thuggish. So, and that was shortly after the Summer thing. They're trying to steal a car or something, him and his friends or something.
Lord have mercy. But I'm telling you, I believe that's what happened.
Yeah.
And Don probably knows it. I believe he knows it.
I think he knows more than I ever thought he knew now. I'm just like, this dude's creepy as shit. He probably knows all this. He's the puppet master. That's what I think.
I would like to see them both go to jail. But Hunter, he needs to speak up. Him and his mom need to tell. This is ridiculous. It's been 2 years.
Yeah.
That little girl needs to be laid to rest properly with respect.
I agree with you 100% on that one. That would be the best, no matter who's responsible. Justice is going to eventually come. But Grant Bassmaster, I appreciate you calling in.
All righty. I'll talk to you later. Watch Top Notch.
All right. Peace.
Bye. Peace.
So, yeah, I believe the kid does hold some information. Is it valuable information? I mean, I've always thought, that's why I originally wanted to talk to him in the very beginning. I was like, this kid knows something. And I know just as good as anybody, you ain't going to crack Don and Candus. You got to go for the weakest link. That's why I want to talk to Hunter. I was like, I knew I wasn't going to get nothing out of Don and Candus. And I think I could get some shit out of Hunter if I could get him alone. Dolly.
Hi. This is Lisa from California. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hey, Lisa.
Okay. Hi. I just wanted to real quick give my theory. I mean, I think Candus is as bad as Don is. I think she's really not as controlled by him as we think. I think when you hear things about them, they both had a domestic violence on each other.
Uh-huh.
And I think Candus also wasn't above hitting her kids.
Oh, I don't think she was above whipping her kids at all either.
Okay, that's what I think happened to Summer. I think that she was hit maybe in the back of the head or something like that. That's why I don't think she intended to hurt her that way. But if you do kill somebody through, hitting them, you could be going up for manslaughter because, your actions led to their death. And I think that's what happened, or something like that. And the reason why I think that is because of her arm still being up. Mm-hmm. Okay, my theory is if you look at fencing position and something like that, if you have brain activity, your arms go up. You're in a position like fencing, like you're sorting. Mm-hmm. And, you're playing. And I think that's what it was when they were hyper-focused on her 8 minutes from the house and questionable condition of Summer. And what I really called in is I think I know where she might be. I mean, I don't know where she is, but I think, when you know the place, and you could tell me if I'm wrong here, but you know how when you go out and you go up Ben Hill, mm-hmm. and eventually it kind of stops. If you look in there.
It turns into a little dirt road that's big enough like a four-wheeler to get through.
Yeah, is it big enough for a four-wheeler?
Mm-hmm. It used to be a road. It used to be a road that went all the way through. This is what the locals told me. It used to go all the way through. Then somebody bought it and they didn't use the road, so the road got narrower and narrower. And then now at the end of the road they built a huge ass house, like a really, really, really nice house. So now somebody is there. But when I was out there, the road was really it ends and then it gets really narrow. Like you could take a horse down it, you could take a four-wheeler down it, but you ain't taking a car through it.
Oh, well, because I was pretty sure that she's been. I mean, I hate to say it like that, but like been tossed off a mountain because it's the only thing that makes sense to me.
You think?
Because if you go,
you think they threw off a mountain?
I hate to say it like that, but I do. I mean, I think the reason is because they, you don't. When you look at the mountains, there's a lot that you could just not see them, and nobody can go down those mountains necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a girl missing now, and they believe she went off a cliff somewhere, and they've said that she's dead, and that her body is in a hard to get to place, but they don't know. They just assume it's in a hard to get to place because they can't get to the place to see if her body's there. I was like, that is strange, but they assume she's there.
In the 411 missing, series, I was listening to that where they had a guy that fell off a cliff and they were with a bunch of people and they were right there when the rescuers came and they never found him.
Yeah, that's what
I mean,
I'm talking
never
about.
found him. That was on the 411 missing thing. And I'm thinking, wow, a little girl and nobody would, be able to go down there unless you were like climbing experts, or something. I don't know how bad the mountains are, but that's why I always thought the only reason is, honestly, I don't think she had enough time to do anything dramatic, and I don't think she would ever go back to get her. I think that I really think that it's something like that, just right there. Yeah. She didn't have time before she had to get back and start. That's just me. I just think that.
I think this. If something was to happen to me like that, and I did choose to make, I'm getting rid of your ass decision, right? I'm burying you. I'm going to bury you somewhere. And who knows them hills better than they do? Right? Because they've had
I don't think she had enough time, though.
She had time. She had plenty of time. She had more than enough time. You got to remember, she got back to the house around 3-ish. She didn't call the police to 6:30-ish. That's 3.5 hours. Okay? 3.5 hours, I could drive you halfway across the street, dig a hole, and come back.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The timeline, we have the timeline. They're giving us the timeline. Okay? We're getting our timeline from them. Now, the FBI and TBI do know earlier that day they were at that Sonic. But after that, the timeline is all on them.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's that one picture of them driving back where they said that it was on a corner because of a sign. They were thinking it was like 8 miles from their property.
Well,
and that's when they were taking pictures of her.
Yeah, and that was
in video
in the car. But what I'm saying is, is the TBI confirmed, verified proof of life and said that she was alive that morning. So as of that time, they know she's alive. That timeline from there is the only accurate timeline. They only know she was alive at a certain time. After that, whatever they did is hours. It's hours. They had plenty of time. Like, it wasn't like something, oh, she died, I got 15 minutes to get rid of her. No, she had hours to get rid of her.
Well, yeah, okay, if you put it like that. I just think that if she hadn't wanted to go see Hunter so bad that day, that Summer would still be with us. I really believe that it was something that happened that day, and it was because she was there is why she didn't call for help, you know. I mean, she wanted to get away from there, whether Summer was alive or not. She wanted to get her back home before she would have reported her, if she would ever would have. I believe it was just getting away from the scene where she was up to no good. Yeah. That's why I don't have as much sympathy for her, because, you know, it's just like if you're in a car and you hit somebody, that's an accident, and that's why there would be no real big lead to follow. Unless, you know, unless you're premeditating, you don't really leave a bunch of evidence. It was just spontaneous, you know. And I believe that's why they're not going to have any kind of evidence backing them up. No computer searches, no.
Yeah, they ain't going to have nothing like that. I agree with that. They didn't search it. How to get rid of the kid. Yeah.
It was just automatic. It wasn't planned, and it just happened.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
All right. Well, look, hey, I appreciate you calling in.
Absolutely. I think you might have changed my mind on the mountain thing. I just figured it was the only way to get rid of somebody quick.
Oh.
You know.
Yeah, they had a little bit of time, for sure.
All right. You have a good one.
All right. Peace.
Bye-bye.
See, this is where I go into Don Wells being the puppet master, and he has painted this picture, the story of the timeline. We got to go with what the FBI says, okay? And TBI says. The last known time she was alive was at that Sonic, okay? After that, that's where the timeline starts, okay? That's where it starts. Until the moment the police reach that property. She had hours. She literally had hours. Let's just say she arrived at 4 on the hill. That's 2 hours right there. I can drive you 30 minutes up the street and bury you in an hour. Okay? It don't take long. We know, just from what was said on the internet, that Candus left that hill twice that day. Okay? Jody Sue Brown seen her once. But she left that hill twice that day. Where'd she go the first time? Okay? Where was Don at all the time? Where's one witness that can say Don was at work that day? One person. To verify his one alibi. Okay, not 7. 1. He was at work. Alone. Nobody there with him to verify he was there. How convenient. How convenient is that? You work a job, there's nobody works with you. Nobody can verify that you did shit, who was with you, where you were, what time you were there. There is some effery going on in the missing case of Summer Wells. And if these people are lying about anything, even if it's the littlest, tiniest, microscopic lie, there is a reason for that. And I guarantee you, everybody in here, there's 780 people in here. Everybody in here, I guarantee, believe they've lied about one thing or another. Right? There should be no lies in this case. It's a missing little kid. And if you're lying, you're covering something up. If you're covering something up, there's a reason for it. And these people know. I just have a strong belief that to be the case. I mean, I don't know the circumstances around it. There's just too many possibilities. You know, in this world, there's a million ways to die. Okay? There's a million ways to kill somebody. There's a million ways to accidentally die. It's just a million ways. So we could sit here and be like, she died this way. She did this. She did. But the fact is, the real thing is this. They know. Okay? And they're not telling the internet. And they're painting this sad story like, oh, poor us. Why YouTubers are paying for their drug addictions and their alcohol problems. That's basically what it comes to. Because when they get low and they're struggling, the first thing they're going to do is they're going to start popping up on these channels. Oh, Don Boom. And you know, people feel so sorry for Candus. And even me, I feel sorry for Candus. I still sometimes feel sorry for Candus. I just feel that, like, man, it sucks, you know? If your daughter did accidentally die, you got to deal with that. That's pretty tragic, right? I feel bad for her sometimes. I feel less and less bad for Don Wells now. Because, you know, he's the Ben Hill Road creeper. You can't feel bad for that guy, right? He might steal my drawers. You know, so I had to watch him when he around my laundry and shit like that. I mean, I didn't see that one coming. I was surprised by that one. I ain't even gonna lie. The panty night thing, that surprised me. But it did open my mind up to what type of person Don Wells was and how clever and how con artists they actually are. Right? Dude, you're out stealing panties. Don't quote no Jesus shit to me no more. Okay? I don't buy that. I don't buy the Jesus role. I don't buy any of that. Every time things get tough for Mr. Wells, he goes straight to Jesus. Okay? And as soon as you go to Jesus, I'm going to red panty night. Okay? Remember when you broke in that house with little baby Jesus with you when you was stealing that lady's panties? I don't think little baby Jesus, I don't think the 7-Day Adventist Church was condoning you breaking in and sniffing panties or whatever you're doing with them. I mean, it is absolutely insane. It's predator behavior. Okay, it looks like as a young man he had these same type of tendencies. I mean, we heard, just allegedly in rumors about his stepsisters and the family pet and other people and just things he said out of his mouth. One thing that I couldn't believe that Don Wells was saying one night, and it was just when he was talking about, yeah, there was this little girl, she was down by the road, and I was trying to get it, help, because, nobody was out there, and somebody could kidnap her, and blah, blah, blah. The lady thought I was trying to kidnap her kid. To me, it does sound like you were creeping on his kid, and why share that story? Okay? She was like saying I was trying to kidnap her kid. Because I think he was trying to run interference because he thought this lady may pop up on the internet and say, this man was trying to kidnap my kid. Right? That, look, there's future, past allegations. And this came out his mouth. This wasn't even somebody else saying it. He was saying, this lady was saying I was trying to kidnap her kid and all this. Well, listen, dude, now that we know about the panty thing, you're creeping on kids. We know about the Jody Sue Brown's daughter. Okay? Somebody's creeping over there. And we now know you are the Ben Hill Road creeper. You need to be in jail. You are a danger to the community. I hope your PO sees this. PO. That man's a danger to the community. He's a danger to women and young women wherever he's at. He has mugshots from the last 30 years. For some pretty bad stuff. He is a danger to the community. So people out here defending this type of person, just remember, you may wake up, whoever channel's out there, and he maybe got your underwear. All right, and when he does, don't be like Dolly didn't tell you. All right, because look, stuff like this is bad. This is borderline Brian Kohberger. And if he's done things like this and he got caught doing this, think about what he's done and ain't got caught. Okay? Like a criminal. He might be in prison for one thing he did, but he's probably done broke the law 1,000 times, right? He got caught red panty handed. But what did he do that he didn't get caught for? I can tell you one. Probably the cover up of his own daughter. Allegedly. Maybe. Possibly. In my opinion. IMO. You know what I'm saying? That's just what I feel the vibe is. This dude ain't going to stop either. They don't stop. When they start stalking, they start breaking into stuff, they start doing weird stuff like this, he's going to continue to do that. And you ever notice that he takes off at periods of time? Because he probably can't do that around Candus. He can't be all weird and stalkerish. So he starts disappearing. And I guarantee you, as soon as he gets some of those drugs in him that he likes to do, that he swears he don't, right? Spends thousands of dollars on. That's why he can't feed his boys. I think he gets into this mode. I think it's when he's drug fueled that he gets into the Ben Hill creeper mode. So, no, he will not stop. You got that right. He likes and craves it, I'm sure. Yeah. And like, I didn't see that in Don Wells. Really? I did. I feel like, I don't know. I felt like I'm smarter than that. That I didn't get that vibe from him. I'm a little disappointed in my vibe reader. Because I'm thinking, man, I didn't know that. And I didn't get that from him. Right? But now I do know it. Now I understand it a little bit better about what's been said in the past that makes it look like now that these people are 100% right. Jody Sue Brown was right. The Ben Hill Road Creeper was at her window. It's absolutely right. You know what I'm saying? If I said you was wrong about that, and shit, Jody Sue Brown was, I don't think I did though, but Jody Sue Brown was right about that. This dude was creeping around her daughter. Thank God there ain't a whole bunch of this thing about him in an area that has more people. Right? This dude is a damn Keegan Kline. For all we know, Don Wells is Anthony Shot. Okay? I mean, that's a stretch. But you get what I'm saying. He's a creeper. This dude, it don't just sound like he's preying on older women either. Jody Sue Brown's daughter wasn't an older woman. She's a teenager. Okay? We've heard Don make inappropriate comments about Allie's daughter. How fat her butt is and stuff like that. You don't say stuff like that about a kid. You know what I'm saying? You just don't do stuff like that. One, you should be paying no mind at the bottom side of a kid. Okay? If you're looking to see if her butt's big, you've already violated. Okay? You shouldn't be paying that. That shouldn't even be in your fucking mind what a kid's butt looks like. To hear this dude talk about things like that and to say that a kid wanted them and like, dude, have you lost your effing mind? Have you lost your effing mind? It all makes more sense. He's been this way since he was young. This is normal to him. Right? Remember Don Wells when they asked him what should happen to the person that did something to your daughter? He didn't want him to go to prison. Do something to my kid, my dog, anybody. I would want you under the fucking prison. I'd want you in the electric chair. I'd want you in the firing squad. I'd want them to pull your toenails out. I'd want them to do a whole bunch of bad stuff to you. And, you know, and I hate to say that, little baby Jesus, I just would. Forgive me, right? I would. I'd want bad things to happen to you. But Don Wells, you don't want nothing bad to happen to whoever did what this summer. What the hell is that? What is that? Okay? People like this is the reason we ain't got the death penalty right now. We live in a world that's so crazy. The only way to help this or even try to control it is eye for an eye. I hate to say that. You take a life, you don't deserve to be here. You just don't. Okay? I feel strongly about that. I think it should be that way across the board. Okay? I know a lot of Christian people are going to say, hey, we're supposed to forgive. And I forgive you once you're dead. Okay? I completely forgive you. I don't think the Bible tells you when to forgive. Okay? I think as a Christian person, you got to work on that one yourself. You know what I'm saying? I will completely forgive that soul after it meets its maker. You know, I just believe that. And when people, you would think most of the time it's people that never lost somebody close to them, and they're like, oh, no death penalty, none of this. But no, there's people that really, people do kill their loved ones, and they go, we don't want them to die. I mean, that does happen. And that's just somebody that is like, you close as shit to Jesus. You know what I'm saying? You might be too close, all right? Because little Jesus probably like, hey, are you sure? You know what I'm saying? Little Jesus questioning it. It's like, there's just some things in this world that you do that you got to meet your maker for. And if we don't start doing that, what we see in our world is only going to increase the people killing each other, the people going into places and doing, you know, I don't even want to say it because it trigger words on YouTube. But you know what's been going on in our society, right? Do we want that to get worse? Do we want to turn on the news all the time and it's bam, 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 and we don't set no examples, okay? You set examples. It sucks to have to set examples. I mean, but you do it to prevent further things, okay? Further people like this. You send a clear message to people. You do this, and you're going to pay. You're going to pay. And some of this, I ain't going to say it'll all stop. The world's not never going to be perfect. But it will slow some of this shit down in this crazy world that we live in. It's just like now, you could go out and do the most horrible thing right now, right? Me, anybody. And we're going to spend the rest of our life in prison, okay? Watching cable, going to school, healthcare. That is not justice in this world we live in. It's not. It's not. And anybody that says it is, I disagree with you. I just totally disagree with you. Now, I ain't saying let's just go execute every damn body that could possibly be innocent, right? But when we know without a doubt you are guilty is what you've done, people witnessed it, they seen it, they blah, 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 you guilty, you confessed. You're Chad Dorman, okay? Goes outside, brutally executes his kids in front of the neighbors, his wife, the whole shit. Acts as calm as a heart attack. I don't even know why he cried in court, right? You see him all crying. I think that's just him sobering up and in reality hitting him. He was crying. He wasn't crying about those kids. The following 2 days later, he's in court. He didn't shed a tear. He looked cocky. He looked arrogant. He looked like the asshole that would kill his kids. And like, to me, why do we got to listen to this dude? Why we got to see this dude at this point? Okay? It's like torture. Like torture. This dude's a monster. I don't want to turn on the news and look at a monster. This dude is 100% confessed. And he said he did it when he did it. Now he's pleading not guilty. Okay? There needs to be some justice for them little boys. All right? All three of them. Him sitting in a cell watching damn TV that you can have in a prison. You can have a TV with cable, right? Walkman, listen to damn 50 Cent. Them kids will never get a chance. Ever. Didn't have a chance. The person they loved is the person that gunned them down, and they had to watch each one of their siblings die. They were so scared that they ran. Little tiny kids. They knew. Even at that age, they knew to run from their daddy. That is horrible. And this man, whatever happens to him, that ain't justice to me. You know what I'm saying? Because fair justice would have been, let's take his ass to the gallows. Everybody, we're having a party. We meet up at 8 o'clock. This dude is you about to hear some snapping. Okay? That's what it should have been. Right? And then everybody that sits out there and watches that is going to be like, man, I don't want that shit ever to happen to me. You have to, we just live, society's getting worse. It's getting worse and worse. People are getting crazier and crazier, and nobody's getting punished the way they should be punished. And then when you do get punished, it takes 20 years to punish you. Unless you the DC sniper. They did him quick, okay? The DC's dude, Virginia didn't play then. I'm disappointed in Virginia now. Back then, Virginia didn't play. We were strong with that. We'll execute your ass fast. And we did, and now we don't, which I'm disappointed in. But other than that, if you ain't the DC sniper, man, you sit in prison for so long before they execute you, if they do ever execute you. And that's what that man's going to end up doing. He'll spend the rest of his life in prison, and he didn't give a shit about the boys. He did that to punish his wife, an act of punishment. You know, the boys never did nothing. The boys wasn't acting out. He didn't have a problem with the boys or nothing. He had a problem with this woman that he didn't want to leave him, and he wanted to punish her and take what she loved from her. That's it. That is just a monster. Just a monster. He only cared about himself, what he wanted, right? He wanted to get drunk. He wanted to do this. That's all he cared about. He didn't care about his family. He didn't care about his wife. He didn't care about his boys. You don't love somebody if you can walk out there and shoot them in the head. You don't. He didn't give two F's. Like, to me, throw that man in general population and let the inmates do what inmates do. Okay? They should be protecting this dude in the jail. There wasn't nobody, he wasn't protecting his boys. He wasn't protecting them 3 little boys. Why protect them? Don't bam them up for 23-1. Let that man have some freedom in the jail. Let him get him out in the pod. Get him out in the pod. Right? We don't have to wait for all this. Right? Because the people in there, they will give the justice that is supposed to be given. We let monsters do this shit, then we lock them up and we protect them. Okay? That's what's happening. He's being locked up to be protected. That's it. Don't protect him. He committed his crimes. Throw him in there with everybody else. I ain't seen nobody protecting me when I went to jail. Okay? Ain't see nobody. Let's make sure Dolly's safe. But this dude, he can brutally execute his 3 kids execution style. And I would put him in the pod with 50 of the worst people ever. Okay? Welcome to Gladiator School, homie. Survive. That's it. Put him in the pod. Put him with everybody. Like, let him sleep. He probably wouldn't be advised. You know what I'm saying? Probably wouldn't be advised. I just know that. And that's why I believe in capital punishment. It's with people just like Chad Dorman. Alright? I mean, it'd been worse if he'd have killed somebody else's kids, but his kids alone, it don't matter. It's just because they're your kids. I mean, I came from an era where my mom was like, I gave birth to you. I brought you into this world. I'll take you out. But she never took me out. I just thought it was an idle threat. You know what I'm saying? But she never killed me. She made the threat numerous times. Okay, numerous. But she never acted on her threats. Thank God I'm still here. Okay? But that's just like an old saying. That don't mean you can do it. Okay? Like, I brought you in the world. I'll take you out. Yeah, motherfucker. You also go to prison for the next 150 years. Okay? You can't do that. We got to get rid of that saying, I brought you into this world. I'll take you out. That is totally unacceptable. When my mom was saying it to me as a kid, I didn't know. You probably shouldn't be saying that. Okay? But then when I was a kid, people wasn't throwing their babies in the trash. They wasn't killing their babies and they wasn't in landfills. So it was okay to make idle threats. Now you say that shit. I brought you in this world. I'll take you out. Kids will be on the phone with social services. My mama's trying to kill me, you know? Sorry, it's called The Sound of Freedom. Teen Rose says, OMG, Dolly, LOL. Right? Dolly Vision, iPhone link. Thank you, Gene. They should, yeah, the Chad dude, man. This is one thing people have to learn in life. You can't force somebody to love you. You can't. You cannot do it. Either they love you or they don't. You cannot, no matter how, you can try to make somebody love you, but it's really up to them, right? Either they love you or they don't love you. Some men out here got to get it through their fucking head that you cannot force a woman to love you. You can't. You can't make a woman love you. You just can't. Okay? You can't force. I mean, your actions, you can make this woman fall in love with you and love you. But you can't force a woman to love you. I don't got many dudes out here, but for my fellas that are out here, just remember that. Put that in your mind. You can't force a woman to love you. Okay? Like, if you think, oh, I'm going to do this, or I'm going to change and do this and this and this, you can't force that person. You like if your wife is cheating on you, you think, oh, everything's going to get better, we're going to work on things. I don't know about that, you know? Just saying. What is up, Cobra Kai? Good to see you this morning. It is 10 o'clock. I got up early. I went to bed early last night. I gotta do some packing today. I gotta get the studio cleaned up. My studio's a mess, and I'm getting ready to leave tonight. So I want to get everything picked up, straightened up before I leave. I don't like to leave with a mess. So when I come back, at least it's straight. So I'll be in Vegas for the next week. Okay, Vegas. All right. So we're gonna be down there playing some slots. To me, gambling, casinos, and I know some people may disagree with me on this. You're thinking, is Dolly going to Vegas to do a bunch of gambling and hang out in casinos? Casinos to Dolly is like a big ass bingo hall. Okay? To me, it reminds me of people that sit around and play bingo. It's like, I don't get it, right? Like, it's boring and shit. My attention span's like 3 seconds. I'm like, I didn't win. I didn't win. All right, this sucks. Move on. That's how I operate. Like, that shit bores me. I'm like, it's just like, this is where people go to die. Okay? I know some people would disagree. Be like, Dolly, I love gambling. I play slots for hours. I fucking, you know what I'm saying? I won 1,500. It still is like a bingo hall. Okay? It just reminds me of somebody playing bingo. Dolly.
Morning, Jimmy son.
What's up, Johnny?
Hey, real quick. I'd been out of touch for several months with you there, and then, I got back on board and was checking out your show again, and I had forgotten to tell you, over the winter, I was driving all over the United States. I just got a bug in my you-know-what and decided to go. And I got out. I thought, I need to go check out Planet 13 because you were over there.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't the only reason I went, but I said, well, that thing's been around for a while, so I want to go check it out. It was really cool, real cool.
Yeah, that was the first place I went when I was in Vegas. That was the first place Gene took me.
I'm not surprised that's the first place you
But
went.
I don't think that's the best place. I think.
Oh no, no, I don't either. No.
Yeah, I think if you're like, if you want to go to like something that's like a mall and like, yeah, that's great for that. But if you want something that's,
exactly.
Yeah. I like the cookie.
Ahead,
there's 2 cookie shops there. There's one cookie shop that's legit. I like that cookie shop. But the Planet 13 thing ain't bad.
Okay, so it's funny you said the word mall because that's what it reminded me of, except for the products that you bought all had something to do with sativa, or cannabis rather, right? So, but it was interesting that I could go in and see all those people doing a job like they would in Target or Walmart or Amazon. You
got to tip them. They're like bud tenders. You don't tip.
I did. Well, that one girl that I worked with, I didn't work with her, that was working the counter, I tipped her, but only because she was good looking.
Oh, okay.
That's terrible. Anyway, but yeah, you're right. That's true. But I found out that not all of them make that good of money. The managers do. They do okay. And you're right, bud tenders do. But, Anyway, it was like a bucket list thing for me to check it out. But I still don't know what to do with the big red ball out in the parking lot is. What was that about? Do you know?
I don't have no clue. Maybe Jean knows. She lives there, so.
Yeah. Okay, well, so you're going for a week. Well, that's cool, man. That'll be fun for you. And
well, I think 5 days. 5 days. I'm gonna be there for like 5 days.
We're going to see family too, right? So
yeah.
That'll be cool for you. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I have my son lives. Well, I have one son that lives there, but he's getting out. He's moving to Texas. He's got kids now, and he goes, I really don't want to raise them here, and so I guess you can make home wherever you live, but. Okay, I missed some stuff because I know you've been on for a couple hours, but remember we saying something about we got another case where a girl or whatever put her kid in a dumpster?
Yeah.
Do you know any more about that, or were you referring to that today or no?
No, but did you hear about that boy you called in? Remember you called in and said something about the dude missing for 8 years?
Yeah.
Have you heard the circumstances on that yet? It is crazy.
I was out fishing late, and I just got up late.
Okay, well, look, what they're saying now is the boy wasn't missing for 8 years. He was being held hostage by his mother, and
what?
She called him by another name, and they were kind of like having relations.
Kidnapped him.
They were having relations.
Oh,
and she was drugging them and keeping them trapped, is what the chat room was coming here saying. I guess it's kind of a breaking story, and that he wasn't really missing.
So she was doing the incesto thing, huh?
Yeah, I guess so. And it had drugging
Dude,
them.
what a trip. What a trip. Ladies, there's all kinds of...
Allegedly.
Go to Nevada, it's legal. I didn't know alleged. Where did the story start, though?
I mean, the story started with you when you called me and said, hey, did you hear about the guy?
Hey, shoot, the good one. Look, no, I was talking about, it started with me calling in about it, but I'm saying...
she was getting GoFund money, like she was going on the news talking about how she wanted them home safe and shit, and she was scamming money. Dude, is what everybody's saying.
What a trip. I never thought that story would... why would you think in a million years that it would ever pill into something like that? What an onion to pill, Yeah,
that's
what
crazy.
What a trip, man. Okay, so she's locked up now, right?
No, he went home from the hospital with her, from what I hear. This is what I'm hearing. I mean, it's just coming out. People coming in the chat talking about it.
Well, you were kind of not joking, laughing about it, but you snickered about it because you said, so he didn't know where he was at for 8 years, and I was like, well, they said he was on pills, and you were cracking me up. You were like, he was on pills? In other words, you were saying, something just sounds right.
Or aliens just dropped him off, like you just don't wander for 8 years.
Well, you're very inquisitive, and you just want to know because that's not the norm, right? So, I don't know, brother. I mean, I think I've really gotten to the point in my life, at least, that I enjoy calling and talking to you about just about anything under the sun. But there are those times when I look out there and I think, man, it's so hard to even report on some of this when it comes to kids. That's the one that just busts my.
And she had bars and bars on the doors and windows. We couldn't get out, and she was drugging them.
What state was this?
I thought it was in Texas because you told me about it, so I assumed it was in Texas.
Okay. Yeah. Well, see, it was, but the reason why I asked you that question is because there was some questioning of whether it was all done in the state of Texas. My understanding is that it wasn't. It just happened to be that's where he finally caught up and got him. He was missing from Texas, and they found him in Texas, but my understanding is that it was like Mississippi and I think Alabama and some other places that she was like with him. So anyway, I don't know. I haven't deep dived it at all until you said something this morning. So I'll take a look at it. But wow,
yeah, I got to look into it too. They told me to look into it. I haven't really seen. I'm giving you secondhand information that I got out in the chat. But the chat came.
Oh well, then none of it's true. Then none of it's true. The guy's not real.
He's not.
I don't even know if Texas is probably not even real. Oh wait a minute, I'm in Texas. Yeah, it's real. It's here. Okay. So all right, what else is on the news front? Anything? I'm going to get off here. So
where we were talking about Don Wells having 7 pairs of panties and Candus having none.
Oh, okay. I remember the story about that. So he's locked up for that right now?
No, he ain't locked up for that right now. Nobody goes to jail, Johnny. That's what he thinks.
Okay, so
we're catch and release. We're catch and release country now. We're catch and release. Okay. It's like fishing.
No, man, they're taking. That's what we say as anglers. You know, they're taking everything good away, Jimmy. Everything. It's all being taken away. I don't understand it. You know, I guess these idiots that are all wanting to go to Mars. I say, y'all are free to go to Mars.
Yeah.
Get on that next. I mean, well, no, it's $250,000 apparently to implode yourself. In a sub.
Too soon, maybe. So I don't know. Rest in peace to those people in the sub.
You know, those guys paid one hell of a funeral for themselves.
Yeah.
$250,000 a pop.
Yeah. Yeah, that was bad.
And one last thing I'll think about that. You read where the son was terrified. He was talking to his aunt, and she was saying, "Oh, the son of the rich Pakistani billionaire, because it was Father's Day." You know,
he went.
Said, yeah, he was kicking rocks. You know, going, "Okay. Oh, go."
Man, poor kid, man. You know, so when something tells you in your mind, don't do it. Don't do it.
Well, I heard a report yesterday that I don't know if this is kind of sick in a way, but they should just stop while they're ahead, because it is what it is at this point, and God rest their souls. But, you know, they said they had a little bit of some commo info that had been relayed at the very last moment to the mothership from the sub.
Yeah, that it was dropping too fast.
Well, no, it was more than that. I remember you saying they were talking about that, but I guess they were scrambling, and basically they really did for a moment were in fear of their lives because of the nature of it. But who knows? Sometimes I wonder if people don't want to stretch it out more to get more of a story out of it, you know, but well, I'm just waiting for.
I don't have no problem with these scientists building submarines and going to the Titanic and trying to go to the moon, but stop trying to take people. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Don't turn it into like it's safe when they know it's not safe, and just go do it yourself. You know, if that's what you want to do.
But you know but that's the spirit of the human race, right? We're always going to try to do something more, and you know, but I'm like you, out of respect for the inspiration it takes to explore this globe and our oceans, and I get it. I think it's cool. I mean, I guess if in another life, dude, if I would have went to something, and I always thought it'd be cool to be a marine biologist, but I didn't have money to go to school, so Army for Kohberger, right?
You know, I knew this girl
that
always wanted to be a marine biologist, right? And she was she couldn't swim. She couldn't swim in high school. She couldn't swim in junior high school. But she always kept telling me she's gonna be this marine biologist one day. I'm gonna be a marine biologist. And I would joke her so much about not being able to swim. You know, come to find out, she works at some place in Florida. She is a marine biologist, and she can now swim.
Well, that's cool that she can swim. It's helpful. It's helpful, but you know, a lot of operations are done on the surface too, on the ship. So you could pull it off, but I get what you're saying. That's ironic, right? It's sort of like a guy who's afraid of heights, but he becomes a pilot.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
She said it from the time we were in junior high school. She would tell me, when my goal was to be that's what she said. And then the next thing you know, she followed her dreams, and she learned how to swim. She didn't learn how to swim. She was 25 years old.
Wow, that's incredible, man. Yeah, I don't know. We were old school. My dad was just like, you know, you haven't learned how to swim yet, so he'd just throw you in the lake or the river, and you learned.
You learned.
You learned pretty quick.
Swim or drown.
It was pretty. Yeah, it's true. It's true. Well, I didn't mean to get it too far off topic, but man, interesting. You know, I just can't believe that story spinned into something like that I just thought it was, you know, it was a tragic thing, but it was sad that he was gone for 8 years, but he was back, you know, and I never thought in a million years that it was his mamacita, playing Mama Incesto.
I thought it was a good ending story. Like, oh, somebody's been found.
Yeah.
That's good. He's not dead. And then, 2 days later, you hear that his mom is beating him with a whip. She got him chained in the house. She's having relations with him.
This has got to be a book and a movie at some point, wouldn't you think? It's probably 3-4 years down the road, we'll be seeing something out. I don't know, maybe not. I don't know, but okay. Well, I'm not. The one bad thing about it for me is that it's from Texas. It's a story in Texas. People, quit diddling your kids, people. Yeah. There's red light districts all over Nevada. Y'all can go out there. In fact, over here, there's a few corners right down the street from me. Right, you guys, you don't have to do that to your own kid.
Yeah.
All right. So sick.
Sure.
So sick. All right. All right, brother. Look, you have a good day, and I appreciate you getting in the saddle and staying there and continuing to build this thing, man. And it's fun to watch for me. I mean, I can remember from the beginning to right now at this point. So you keep going, brother. You keep going. I know you're gonna bust out. One of these days we'll see that 100,000 mark with the plaque in the background behind you, bro.
Yeah. If not, I'm just gonna buy one off eBay for $20. All right, Johnny.
All right, thanks, man. I appreciate the time up, folks. Don't forget to tell somebody you love them, and you always know the deal. Go visit the Dolly merchant and see about getting some Dolly soap and some other cool stuff. Peace.
There you go. Check out the Dolly merch, like Johnny said. We live in a crazy world. People are just getting crazier. I thought it was a good ending story too. And to come to find out, the boy is, there's some crazy shit going on. But that's the world we live in, So Vegas in July, sleep all day, don't go out till the sun goes down. It will still be like a furnace when you open the door. Well, I'll be there. I'll be there by this time tomorrow. Okay? So, me, I'll stay in the AC. I'm going to dress cool, I'm going to be at the shops. So I'm sure I'm going to have fun. I'm just going to go take it easy for a few days, get away from the staring at these walls. So y'all get Turtle Island Sunday live from Vegas. I don't know exactly where we're going to be in Vegas, but we're going to be somewhere cool. All right. So make sure you tune in when we vote somebody off. Dolly Vegas edition. All right. Okay, Rudy and Mom are not at their residence. Please looking into them now. Okay, well now they're going to go on the run, and the boy's going to be missing for 8 more years. Okay? I don't know. We live in a crazy time, man. I don't know what's going on with people with abusing. And this is a big-ass kid. This is a grown man, too. So, at some point, he didn't know he was being held hostage. It just don't make sense to me. That whole story don't make sense. But then again, I haven't really dived into it. Most of my information I've gotten from you guys this morning. I didn't even know. I just thought it was over with. He was home and returned to his mom, and, damn, we found one. Usually it's, the opposite of that. Is most people that go missing, they don't usually get recovered alive. So every now and then when we get one that's alive, I'm like, hell yeah. Okay, have fun, Jimmy. And ladies, lock your doors and hide your red underwear. Well, you didn't have to say have fun, Jimmy, and then say that. Because then it sounds like I'm out still in red underwear. And I done made it perfectly clear that I like purple. Okay? I am not out still in no red underwear like Don Wells. When I reach in my right pocket, I can tell y'all now, I am not going to pull out a pair of red drawers. I can give you my word, okay? There is no underwear in my pocket. I did reach in my pocket one time. I had a sock. I don't know how that got there. You know what I'm saying? I was like, how did this damn sock get in my pocket? I'm assuming some way in the dryer that it worked its way into my pocket. But I did. I have like an ankle cut sock in my pocket one day. I reached in to grab some money at the store. I reached in my pocket and there was a sock in my pocket. And I was thinking, how the hell did this sock get into my... But I did just pull my clothes out the dryer. So I'm thinking that somehow in the rotation, that a sock got into my pocket. You ever wonder what happens to your socks, right? Check your pockets. I'm telling you. Your dryer eats socks or it puts it in the pockets of your clothes. True story. I can't make it up. I reached in, I was like, is that a sock? Has that ever happened to anybody, or is it just me? It's one of those dolly things. I don't know. So, have a great day, y'all. All stay safe. Be cool. See you all later. Cobra Kai, bow! Thanks for being here, Johnny. And everybody that's out there in the ether watching. I had it on subs. I put it on members for a little while so I could keep up with the chat. But if you're out there, you want to support Dolly, keep me alive, join up is a good way to keep Dolly not skinny. Okay, I'm getting pretty damn skinny. Yeah, we're going to have some fun this week, so I'm going to be bringing y'all a bunch of videos from Vegas, okay? I'm not going to do a whole lot of gambling. I'm not a gambling person. I'm not going to Vegas to gamble. I'm just going to go see some family, hang out, hit some little shops and things like that, do a little shopping, relaxing, sitting by the AC. Just quiet, peaceful type shit for a few days. The Sleuth Fairy, hey, good to see you. Carrie G, Amanda. So what else is going on in true crime? Kohberger, innocent, okay? I don't think that man's innocent. But there's more and more stuff coming out in the Kohberger stuff. In like the videos that leaked from down the street. I still don't know if them videos were real. Okay, I'm assuming they're real because I ain't seen nobody come out and debunk them. Okay, and then somebody did send me a message. Remember, because the video had snow on it? It had been snowing prior to that. All right, because somebody sent me the weather and was like, see, Dolly, it was snowing. So apparently, maybe there is some realness to that video that we watched, because there was some snow on the ground at the time. And in that video, you do see around that time frame a vehicle come into frame, turn around, that type of stuff. It really don't show much. It's kind of like, watching public house landlord. Jimmy, are you going to the UFC? Yes! Okay. Friday night is the weigh-in. Okay. I don't have a ticket, but Dolly will get him a ticket. Okay. I got to find one. I don't know if it's sold out. I'm pretty sure that the UFC event's sold out. Okay, but I'm gonna get my ass into the weigh-ins at least. Okay, because I'll be there in the morning. The weigh-ins are tomorrow afternoon. Okay, so I'm gonna make it to the weigh-ins because I don't think they're sold out. I ain't for sure. So I'm gonna try to get into the weigh-ins, and I'm gonna try to get into the UFC event. All depending on how much it costs. Okay, because it's pricey. So depending on what it costs, will I be there? I will be there. Will I be inside the UFC event? Depending on how much it costs me to get a ticket. Okay. Weigh-ins. I'm going to try to make it to the weigh-ins, of course. So Volkanovski's fighting. Okay. So that wouldn't be bad to watch. That'd be a pretty good fight. And that is one of the reasons that I picked this time to go, is because UFC's in Vegas. And for anybody that don't know, Dolly's a huge fight fan. Okay. Kickboxing, slap boxing, any type of violence I like. So that's pretty much why I picked this weekend to go. Because if I can't make it to the event, I at least like to make it to the weigh-in. If I can't make it to the weigh-in, I like to make it to the event. But either way, I'll be there in town. Keep it safe around all them people. Volk is a beast. Volkanovski, yeah. I mean, that's the fight. It's a world title fight. So I don't know if they're out there selling tickets cheap or if it didn't sell out. Which every UFC event in Vegas sells out. I'll see if I can get me a cheap nosebleed ticket or something like that. But if I don't see it, it ain't a big deal. It's not like the best fights in the world. I mean, it is some UFC fights, but it ain't like John Jones is fighting Conor McGregor. It ain't nobody like super like huge. We ain't got Izzy. It's a bunch of like, I don't know, I guess D-list UFC fighters. Public housing landlord says, give Dana a call. I wish. The last time I went anywhere around there, I went to the Apex, okay? The UFC Apex that y'all see on TV. And the gate was open. You know, the gate open. So I drive on up in there. You know, I don't realize that, you know, Mel Gibson and Dana White and all these billionaires hang out at this place and that I'm trespassing. You ain't supposed to be up there. But the gate was open, right? The gate won't close. I done drove right up in the bitch, right? So I'm getting out. I go up to the door to Apex and security comes out. And he's like, yo, and you trespassing. I was like, I ain't see no gate. He's like, he points like the gate over there. I was like, it's open. He's like, yeah, but there's signs. It says this is private property. You're trespassing. I was like, oh. I was like, I didn't know that shit. He's like, it ain't no big deal. He's like, yo, take your pictures quick. All right. And then get the hell up out of here. I was like, all right. But security was real cool. Okay. But he was like, oh, man, you trespassing, man. You can't be up here. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't know that. I didn't read your damn sign. Where's the sign that says read this sign? Okay. I didn't see the sign that said read this sign. I didn't read the sign. I just came through the gate because the gate was open. Now, if you want me to read the sign, you need a sign in advance. Like, you ever see those signs that say prepare to stop? Right? And then you get up closer and there's a stop sign. Well, they need a sign that says prepare to read this sign. Okay? Because I wasn't prepared to read it. And I just went on up in there. Okay? Now, if I went to jail for trespassing in Vegas, that would have sucked. Okay? But, you know, hey. They didn't call the police. I mean, they were really cool. They were like, hey, man, take you some pictures and carry your ass. All right? Be safe. So. But I did last time I was there go to the Apex. You went to speak to Mayweather. That was like, look, I met Mike Tyson. Okay. So this is a crazy story. So I had to sneak up on Mike Tyson to meet him. And like, look, I've been following Mike Tyson since I was a little kid. He's like one of my heroes, right? Mike Tyson, the man. So I'm at a Glory kickboxing event. And Mike Tyson is like one of the special guests at this Glory kickboxing event. The only problem is Mike Tyson is front row. And I'm literally in the nosebleed. Okay, I mean, so far away from, I could just see he's like a speck. Okay, I could see the Mike Tyson speck. He was just a speck. That's how far away I was. I was like, there's no way I'm leaving here without meeting Mike Tyson. I just set it in my mind that I'm getting down there if I got to go to jail, right? I was like, there's just no way I'm letting this opportunity pass that I'm not going to meet Mike Tyson. Just can't do it. If they got to lock me up for trying to get down there, I'm going to take the chance, right? So, Cobra Kai. So, each section of this fight was blocked off by security. Okay? So, like if you had the nosebleed section. Uh-oh, hold on. We got a super chat.
Yeah, I think we got a super chat. I think we got a super chat.
So, anyway. So they have each section blocked off, and you got to show them your stub to get through, so they know you sit in that section, right? So I just had a strategy. Like I walk up and I just be kind of standing there like I'm hanging out and shit, you know, watching the fight. But as I'm walking with my drink, and then I'd stand right beside the security dude. And as soon as I'd just wait for him to turn. And as soon as he would turn, I'd slide right past him, right? So I get down to like the lower section. I'm still not to the floor yet, right? But now I can see Mike Tyson. I'm like, okay, I can see Mike Tyson. So I'm like, all right, now I got to get into the floor. And this is the hardest because now they got two security dudes, right? I'm thinking to myself, how am I going to get past these two security dudes, right? And I just start the same type of strategy. I go up kind of just like I'm parlaying, hanging out. You know what I'm saying? I'm standing there. I even talked to one of them at one point. I was like, oh, shit. But the thing is security kept turning to watch the fights. right? Like when nobody was doing nothing or coming down the stairs, they'd shine their lights. But when they wasn't, they kept turning around to watch the fights. And I just timed it. Boom, and I shot right behind the guy. And then I broke a little quick left because now I'm on the floor. But now I'm at the back of the floor and Mike Tyson's at the very front of the floor. So instead of going past the next security dude, I cut through this row and, you know, I kind of squeezed through people, like, you know, in the crowd where the seats were. That gets me to the front ramp. So I walk up to the very front where the ring is, right? Now here's the problem. The front row is full, but the back row, there's like a couple missing empty seats that's nobody sitting in. And it's directly behind Mike Tyson, okay? I'm like, here's my opportunity. So like clockwork, I go down the second aisle, right? I'm coming right up behind Mike Tyson. And I'm like, okay, I'm coming right up behind Mike Tyson. And a security dude catches me, right? I shit you not, I get caught. He's like, yo, man, let me see your ticket. And I'm like, oh, man, he got me, right? He's like, oh, man, you in the wrong area. You're supposed to be, but he didn't realize I was so far off. He's like, oh, you're supposed to be over there somewhere or something like that. And I was like, oh, okay. And I kind of like, I start walking back towards that way. Like I'm going to walk over there. But I never really go back onto the second floor. I stay in the bottom thing. And I'm thinking, how is Mike Tyson going to get out of here? I need to get to the exit, okay? I need to get to the exit. So I go to the exit. And I'm thinking, okay, this is probably the best move because they got to get Mike Tyson out of here. They're going to bring him down the ramp. They're going to take him out the back of the Hampton Coliseum because I know where the exit is because I've been there to a bunch of concerts. So I wait there. And just like clockwork, on the last fight, they go out there to get Mike Tyson. He gets up because they want to get him out of there before the crowd starts releasing. So now Mike Tyson is walking directly to me. Right? And I'm thinking, boom, I knew this was the plan. I knew it was going to work. I knew for a fact. I was like, boom, I'm going to get to meet Mike Tyson. Right? So this is where a wrench gets thrown into the game. Right? So these two girls, as Mike Tyson's walking right towards me, they run up right out of somewhere. I don't know where they came from, but they must have slipped in somewhere too. And they ran up and Mike Tyson turned around to introduce himself to the two girls. Now he's standing there talking, and now I see security coming from the other side, and they're coming towards me. So I'm thinking, oh shit, I'm about to get hit by security. So instantly I make my approach on Mike Tyson, right? This is my only chance, right? So I come up behind him, and I tap Mike Tyson on the shoulder. I swear shit you not. He said it felt like a rock too. And I didn't know if he's going to turn around and hit me, if he was going to turn around and what he was going to say or what he was going to do. I was just going to take the chance. You know what I'm saying? Just take the chance. It's Mike Tyson. You know what I'm saying? So I tap him. He turns around slow, like real. And Tyson ain't a tall guy. He's big, but he ain't a very tall guy. He turns around. He just kind of nods at me. He reaches out. He shakes my hand. And I said, Mike, can I take a picture with you? And he kind of gives me the yeah. So I kind of stand beside him to take the picture. And as soon as I do, his security goes boom and just shoves the shit out of me. Right? And this dude, he looked like 3 of Mike Tyson. I ain't lying. I mean, he knocked the wind out of me when he shoved me. He just said boom, like get out the way. Like I was a mosquito. Like poof. But look, before he pushed me, I took the picture. Right? So it's a picture of me, but it looks like I'm leaning away from Mike Tyson. You know how you take a picture and you lean in with somebody to take the picture? We took a picture, but it looked like I was leaned away from him. That's because I was pushed when I snapped the fucking camera, right? The security dude pushed me. So I got the picture with me and Mike, though. But I'm a little bit like this. True story. But hey, I was beating Mike Tyson that day. I was like, hey, I'm going to get at least shake Mike Tyson's hand. But it worked, okay? The moral of the story is, it was a lot, but I did. It's a little crazy, but I did get to meet Mike Tyson. That's the way. Yeah, I didn't know. You don't know what he's going to do. And I came up behind him. You know what I'm saying? Like uninvited. some this weird fucking dude he ain't never met. He didn't know. If I was a killer or somebody that was out to hurt him, I could have got him. You know what I'm saying? Okay, Tiff's tire exploded. She's okay, but she needs you to call her back. Okay. All right, guys. Well, look, I got to get ready to get out of here. I got to call my kid. Apparently, she got a flat tire or something of that nature. So I will talk to you guys later. I got some packing and things I got to do. So I'll try to be back on in a little while if I can. If not,